welcome to Wrestling Days Live. We are live for this week's Smackdown, and it is my favourite stream of the week. I do really enjoy this show. I think that they've been knocking it out of the park in recent weeks. I think they've been doing a great job with Smackdown. I really go into it with a lot of excitement, and I'm feeling really good about the show tonight. Doesn't look like the strongest card for SmackDown. Kind of the Samoan street fight. I could kind of leave that if I'm being honest. But we should hear from Sasha Banks. And we've also got Alexa talking to Nikki Cross on a moment of bliss. So we should really get some development with that story. I wouldn't be too surprised to see her attack Nikki Cross. So there's definitely a few things. Oh, and AJ versus Sami Zayn. We should have that as well. So plenty of stuff to look forward to. And I'm sure the street fight's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know. I don't really, don't feel like I need it. But yeah, it should be fun all the same. Shout out to everyone that is in the chat. Super Blitz Kid asks, who do we think the mystery person is? Well, it was reported a little while ago that it was Carmella. And then we saw a little bit more of that mystery person last week. And I'm even more convinced that it's Carmella. So I'm fairly confident that it's her. Happy birthday to Bank on Riots. Luke's World, shout out to you. Thank you for joining, my friend. Really appreciate the support. Days, how are you? I've had a great day. I was online with WWE 2K20. Very cool. Shout out to you. Aska Stan Alert, shout out to you as well. Swamp Manor, I see a lot of excitement in the chat. Of course, it is Friday as well. I know many of you have been at work all week or at school all week. So, of course, it is the weekend. I should imagine there's a few Friday feelings out there. So, yeah, I love these streams. I really do enjoy these streams. So, it's great to be doing this with you guys. So, I think we did run down all of the previewed stuff. Jey Uso and Roman Reigns taking on Sheamus and King Corbin in the Samoan street fight. That, I imagine, is our main event tonight. AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn. Sasha Banks is going to address Bayley. We don't know if Sasha's actually there. I hope she isn't. I hope that this is a message from home, and I hope that she's still recovering. It would feel a little bit soon to bring her into the actual arena. So I'm just hoping for a little video that she's submitted, but we'll have to wait and see. And Alexa Bliss is hosting a moment of bliss with Nikki Cross, and as we said, some very interesting stuff could go down there. A few other little bits and bobs for us to discuss, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. JS17 says, Days, read this. All I'm back, but I won't be able to join on Monday or Wednesdays because I've got school again. Shout out to you, dude. I think Sasha won't be there, says Wrestling Days fam. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be better if she wasn't, just because they really need to sell the injury. That beatdown was so brutal that I didn't even know if we were going to see her like before Survivor Series. Like, honestly, if it had turned out that she was going to be out for a few months, then I would have believed it. So the fact that she's back just a couple of weeks is a little bit... So I'd like for her to still be at home, still recovering, still in a bad way. She could say, I don't know when I'm going to be back. The doctors can't give me a... But just know that when I am coming for you. Something along those lines. It was such a brutal beatdown. They've got to sell it. They've got to sell it. Monica King, shout out to you. Hope you are well. King Gaming says, what if she's coming in but she's got crutches and a neck brace. I still wouldn't. I don't see the benefit. I don't see the positive of having her actually there when she could just be at home in a neck brace, in bed or whatever, or in a hospital still, make it look like she's in a medical facility. I don't see what the positive is by having her there and having her in the ring. Plus also, you're going to have an in-ring promo tonight from Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. So, to me, it would just make more sense to have her in hospital or somewhere that looks like hospital. And then you've still got an in-ring segment with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Because Bayley coming out and them two getting face-to-face, that's too soon. We know that they're not facing each other at Clash of Champions because it's going to be Nikki Cross against Bayley. So we know that Sasha's not involved in that. And I don't want her to get involved in that because, again, I feel like it's too soon. So, I wouldn't do it that way. Miss Clown 1, shout out to you. FFC Clan says it's rumoured that the Samoan street fight will be on a street. Well, that would be good, in all fairness. A lot of people always say that when it comes to the street fights, it's just disappointing. It's around the ringside area. And because there's no crowd, then there's nothing stopping them doing it out in the street. So as long as they can find a really good bit of street, I know that sounds stupid, but you're still going to want a street where there's not like traffic because you can't be filming with cars racing past. So you need it to be like a closed set. You're going to need them to be able to get access to weapons because you're still going to want to see, Jey Uso and Sheamus grabbing pipes and things, aren't you? So it's got to be a closed street. It's got to have weapons that are planted there. It's got to feel quite gritty. You don't want just like a big, open, empty Florida highway. That's not going to work. When you think of street fight, you think of back alley New York, or at least I do. That's what I think of. But you might struggle to find that around the Amway Center. I'm not sure. So hopefully they have. Hopefully they've got a little somewhere that they can do it. Or maybe they've filmed it. Perhaps it's not, pre-recorded. Perhaps it's going to be something that they've already done. So it's interesting. It is interesting. Gorge Mogul says, I want a Samoan street fight on a beach or in Samoa. I mean, that would make sense if they did it in Samoa. Random, but I've just watched darts and they've got crowds. Well, I don't know how long because in the UK it looks like we're staring at a second spike. So there's a lot of talk about areas getting locked down again. So I don't know when those darts were from, but if it was in the UK, then it might be that they don't have crowds for long, unfortunately. Wrestle with Andy says, Days, the Fraser Niles Hell in a Cell has been made official for Clash of Champions. I'm down for that. I am totally down for that. Days, when the draft happens, I can see The Fiend going to Raw, and the first feud would be with Orton, where Orton turns face starting the night after Hell in a Cell. Well, that is definitely a key Fiend feud that has got to be had at some point, and you would imagine at some point in 2021. So I don't know if Fiend and Bray would go to Raw, or would Orton move to SmackDown? Maybe Orton moves to SmackDown because I think that Fox contract is bigger than the USA one. And so I think they're putting a little bit more into SmackDown. There's a bit more weight that goes over there. So, I could see Orton being the one that moves more than Bray, maybe. Bank on Riots says, what if AJ Lee returns and is a part of Retribution? That would be excellent. I'd love that. I'm a big AJ Lee fan. Creed says, did you see what I tweeted you in about Melina returning? Yeah, I did. There's a lot of excitement around Melina returning, and I don't know why, to be honest. Like, I'm not being disrespectful. She was good, but she wasn't someone that really blew my mind personally. And then we watched her in the NWA, and she didn't blow my mind there either. She was kind of overshadowed by Camille, and certainly overshadowed by Thunder Rosa. So she's someone that I think is fine, you know, someone that I think is do a job. But yeah, I've seen a lot of excitement. Just really took me by surprise as to like how excited people were, which is cool. I'm pleased that people are excited. Jim says, cases doesn't mean anyone is sick. Some or a lot of those tested can be false positives. Haven't actually seen the information on false positives. So I just being straight up honest, I don't know out of how many, what percentage of those cases are false positives. I don't know. But I know that the UK government is concerned enough to now tell us that we're staring at a second lockdown and that parts of the UK are being locked down, individual bits where, you know, things are spiking. They're starting to shut them down. I even read they're looking at London, shutting London down, putting that into lockdown. And we're staring at down the barrel of the whole country going back in lockdown. So I don't know. It's certainly not good, but it's an interesting point. I don't know the percentage that is false positives. It's not something that you tend to see getting reported that much. Miss Clown 1 says, random fact: Charlotte Flair is a 2-time former state volleyball champion. Mr. Rotella, shout out to you. Hope you are well, my friend. Thank you to everyone that's been joining us for the recent streams as well. We did a Clash of Champions watch along last night, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. But I also appreciate it was very different because it's not WWE. It's from the 80s. A lot of wrestlers that maybe younger fans might not be aware of, like the Midnight Express. You know, I think Ric Flair we see on TV quite a bit. I think Sting gets mentioned a bit, but you don't hear about the Fantastics, and you don't hear so much about the Midnight Express and people like that. So I can understand that, maybe there was a few people that were taking a chance on it. So if you were one, then I hope you had fun. But it does bring me to my next point, which I don't want to stay on for too long, because there's a real good chance that I will end up ranting for about an hour, and I just don't want to be honest. I'm in a really good mood, so I've got no interest in ranting. Dave Meltzer, you might have seen the tweet that I sent out. This is, I don't know when this happened actually, but I feel like it broke fairly recently. He gave the Best Friends versus Santana Ortiz parking lot brawl that main evented Dynamite this week. He gave that 5 stars out of 5. Right? So he gave it top marks. Now, granted, he has gone above that a few times, 5.5 stars, 6 stars. So there are a few levels technically higher. But this is still 5 stars out of 5, right? Which, in the tweet that I sent, makes it better than Undertaker versus Shawn from WrestleMania 25. Undertaker versus Shawn from WrestleMania 26. Makes it better than Bret versus Owen Hart from WrestleMania 10. Makes it better than Ric Flair versus Sting, the 45-minute fantastic back and forth match that we watched last night. That parking lot brawl that I think was about 13 minutes long is apparently better than that match that we saw last night. I mean, look, the list goes on. The list goes on as to matches that it's better. It's better, apparently, than Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne from TakeOver Chicago. That I think is still my favourite NXT match, or certainly one of, right up there. And apparently this parking lot brawl is better than all of those. So there is a real argument that Dave Meltzer has lost his mind. But I don't know. I know that people enjoyed the parking lot brawl. I'm not sure there's too many people that are going to agree that it was a 5-star match. So throwing it out there, just so you know, you can make up your own minds. You can make up your own minds. The botching guy says, I've got 100k on Covington tomorrow. Yes, we do have UFC tomorrow, and that is going to be epic. What a show. 14 fights. The card is stacked. Not just with quantity, but absolute quality. Some of the best UFC fighters are in action tomorrow. They're saying it might be the best fight night ever. Once a month, the UFC do a big show like UFC 245, UFC 246. Other than that, each Saturday they do fight nights. So fight nights are kind of seen as like one step down, but they're saying that tomorrow might be the best fight night ever. Like, it's that stacked. So we're really excited for that. Danny Brown, shout out to you, my friend, says, hashtag favourite YouTuber. Shout out, I've been here since 2 mil. Yeah. Of what? 2 mil of what? Of views? Do you look at views on channels? I never do that. That's very cool. Shout out to you, my friend. Days, check my comment. Done. Woken Hulk says, Dave Meltzer enjoys his own company. Wrestling Days fan says tomorrow should be good. Days, it was an amazing match, says always Big O, and even better the second time, but it's not 5 stars. 4.25, 4.5, sure, and the best parking lot brawl outside the ring in a long time. Lockdown is back. We can't go for a pint, says Ben Patterson. I haven't heard where we are with it, to be honest. I haven't seen the news all day. But I always check the news when I wake up first thing in the morning. But I was saying this the other day, like my sleep is proper messed up. So I get like little chunks of sleep rather than one big, like 7 hours or whatever. I'll get like 3 hours here and a couple of hours there. But when I get up first thing, I tend to look at the news. So I haven't actually seen it all day since then. So we might be in lockdown now. I don't know. No one's told me. No one's thought to tell me. So Robin813 says, do you think that James Storm is going to go to NXT or AEW? Maybe back to Impact. But they had him in NXT. And he did one match, didn't he? And he said it wasn't for him. So I don't know if that will have changed. I wouldn't have thought so, to be honest. So I can't see him going to NXT. Could he go to AEW? Potentially, but I don't know that they need him, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I don't think they need him. I think that Impact might take him. But I think that AEW they're not going to get much out of his name now because he's kind of been out of the limelight for a little while. It's been over in like NWA. If they bring in James Storm, is it really going to move ratings that much? I would say no. That's no disrespect to James Storm. I just don't think it does. And I think that they could probably invest their money elsewhere. I mean, you got to remember as well that, pandemic, they're not making any ticket sale revenue. So, yeah, it's I'd say Impact or the Indies. Robert is stuck in Canada. Yes, Robert Roode is. FFC Clan says, do you think Dolph will try to get Mandy back on Raw? I don't know, to be honest. They've seemingly, the rumours are, FFC Clan, the rumours are that there is no storyline ready for Mandy. They've moved her because they just want a little bit more females. They just want a bit more depth in the division. They've not moved her because they've got a great storyline planned. Like, Dolph's going to try and woo her again. So, he could. But do you really want to see him and Otis having a feud again? Like, I would say leave it alone now. I would say it's done. We've moved on from it. So, I would leave it. But they seemingly haven't got anything lined up for her. Because they only moved her, it felt as if they had a plan. It felt as if they were going to do something. But apparently not. Apparently, seemingly not. They haven't got anything lined up. So, kind of crazy. Crazy. Melina is back, says Tony. Days, what is your favourite WWE finisher? For me, it's the RKO, says JS17. Yeah, I like the RKO. I do. I would say it's up there. I don't know if it's my absolute favourite. I always like, the Tombstone is awesome, of course. The Razor's Edge is awesome. The Sharpshooter is awesome. Sweet chin music, you can kind of hit that out of nowhere. The Stunner, you can absolutely hit that out of nowhere. So, yeah, hard to say a favourite, to be honest. But I definitely have the RKO up there. Lockdown is in Newcastle right now, says Dave in real life. Oh, there we go. There we go. Luke's World says, Days, I've been here since Tyler Bate won the UK title 1 year after you started. Shout out to you, buddy. Shout out to you. I love like Tyler Bate winning the title, going on to defend against Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne's reign, like that whole beginning of the UK title was just so good. I mean, even like when he lost it to Volta, and like Volta's reign has been disappointing, but it's not really his fault. It's because he's been so inactive. Like, we just need to get it up and running again. So, yeah, I kind of feel like that title has been it's been a real pleasure to watch the different championship reigns. It's been really good, booked really well. The Diamond Cutter, yeah, good shout, John. Good shout. Lancashire is in lockdown everywhere but Blackpool, which is confusing. That is confusing. Perhaps it's because of tourism or something. I don't know. Perhaps it's because Blackpool's just really dirty anyway. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. That is a bit strange. But it does feel like we are definitely sneaking our way to a full country lockdown. I mean, if you do look at the graph for COVID in the UK, it kind of goes down and then, it's really starting to pick back up again. So, just seems like Europe is getting hit quite hard with it at the moment. Izzy and Taya says, my favourite finisher is the Claymore kick. 619. Yes, that's awesome. RKO, belly to belly. Sister Abigail. Yeah, I think a few people would agree with you on that. I think a few people would. 49ers Empire says, do you like Lucha Underground? I've only seen bits of it. I've seen a few episodes, good few episodes of the first season. So I can't really comment. It's always been a show that I've wanted to get into. It went onto Netflix, but it only went onto Netflix in the US. We never got it in the UK. So I was really excited when they announced that it was onto Netflix, but I couldn't watch it. And I might be able to watch it on like Watch Wrestling or something, but I haven't sat down and like done that. So I haven't seen enough to comment. But what I would say about it is what I saw was excellent. Really good lucha, in-ring action, high-flying stuff, but you go into it knowing that it's lucha libre. You go into it knowing what to expect. It's high flyers. It's Mexican influenced, and it's lucha underground. So I went into it knowing it was going to be that, and it's where I first got introduced to Ricochet. Ricochet is Prince Puma. That's where I first saw him, and I can remember watching Prince Puma and thinking, I'd love to have that guy in WWE. Could you just imagine what they could do with him? And look what they do with him. Not much is the answer. Yeah, I really enjoyed what I saw. I understand that there's a lot of supernatural elements, a lot of supernatural storylines, which I haven't seen. But what I would say is that if the whole promotion is set up that way, if the whole promotion is done where everyone's got a superpower, and it's like, I don't know, the guy that can freeze time takes on the guy. I don't know. I really struggle with the supernatural stuff, but if the whole promotion is built around it, I could maybe vibe with it a little bit better. So I'd have to watch it and see. I really do want to watch it. Because as I said, from the couple of episodes I saw, I didn't see any supernatural stuff, but it was very good. It was very good. JC says, Days, it'll be interesting on a moment of bliss to have Alexa interviewing Nikki Cross. I agree. It will be very interesting. I'm expecting Alexa to attack Nikki. They obviously can't have a match at Clash of Champions because currently it's going to be Bayley versus Nikki. So they could set up for match after Clash of Champions. It could be that she attacks Nikki. Nikki tries one more time to try and win her over or something, and she gets beaten up again. And then after Clash of Champions, we get Alexa versus Nikki. You would think that they're heading for a feud, you know. Mr. Rotella says Freeze Time Guy versus Mr. Teleport Guy. Who wins? Wow, this is it. This is why I need to get onto Lucha Underground so that I can answer the big questions like that. I'm not sure that they would be called that as well. Freeze Time Guy versus Teleport Guy. It would be King Corbin, because time seems to go very slow when he wrestles, versus Matt Hardy. That would be the match. 49ers Empire says, I've seen they might suspend McIntyre. I have not seen this. Why might they suspend McIntyre? Ahmed says, the Claymore, the Spear, the Kill Switch. That was always good. Yeah, that's a really good shout. I did like that as well. Jake says, for me, Best Friends versus Santana and Ortiz was a 4.75 star match. I think for me, it was about a 3.5, maybe 3.75. Honestly, I wouldn't want to go to a 4. If I had to, I'm being forced to go to a 4. For me, 3.5, 3.75. It's blown my mind that it's a 5 stars according to Dave. Hayden Garrett says, Days, I'm excited to watch SmackDown. Same here, buddy. Same here. It's always my favourite stream of the week, as I said. Favourite show of the week as well. So just a really nice way to kind of round off the week, and always leads us into the weekend, and what a weekend we've got, because we've got SmackDown, we've got UFC, massive UFC tomorrow. Sunday, I could see us doing like a big watch along on Sunday, something like a Night of Champions, something that's like WWE from, a few years ago or something. I don't really want to do a recent Clash of Champions because they don't look great, the cards. So if we go back a little further to like Night of Champions, there might be some decent shows there. So I think that'll be Sunday. We've got Raw on Monday, and then we've got potentially a live Wrestling Escape Pod on Tuesday, but that might be a bit too soon. So I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it, but I feel like it's coming. I feel like it's getting closer. Chalmers says, Days, random question. What's the biggest match that WWE could make with the current roster? That, Chalmers, is A, a great question, and B, one that we can fire to the chat. What do you think is the biggest match WWE could make with the current roster? I would say, and I don't know if this is cheating, Rock versus Roman, but I don't know if Rock would count. He might be under a Legends deal or something, and he's not. Is he current roster? I don't know. If he's under a Legends deal, I mean, The Rock is someone they can pick up the phone to and get. I mean, if they said, we want you for WrestleMania to take on Roman, like, I'm pretty sure he's doing it. But I don't know if that counts. But what do you guys think? Put it in the chat. That's a really good question. John Elite says, Days, if Shayna is the Queen of Spades and Natalya is the Queen of Hearts, who is the Queen of Clubs and Diamonds? Isn't Tessa something to do with diamonds? I think Tessa's... I don't know if she calls herself the Queen of Diamonds, but something says to me when say diamonds, I think Tessa. And I think it's because on a ring attire, it's got a diamond here. So I don't know. Queen of Clubs, Lana. She goes out dancing all the time, doesn't she? All that TikTok stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to say that Lana's the Queen of Clubs. She's a savage. Booty, nasty. Yeah. I'm going to say Tessa, Lana, and Natalya. And who was the other one? Shayna. There we go. Days, I've finally found a way to join using VPN, says Wrestling Days fan. I did see on Twitter. Yeah, shout out to you. WWE 2K20 Universe says, Days, don't forget about the most entertaining and suspenseful, longest running TV sitcom of the States and the rest of the world. The one and only Firefly Funhouse. Come on, Bray. Dat cliffhanger. I haven't actually seen that announced, but you are right. Last time it did say to be continued in regards to Wobbly Walrus. So, yeah, you are right thinking about it. We should get another episode this week where we find out a little bit more about Wobbly Walrus. I don't think they've told Paul about that. I think it's a bit of a rib on him. I don't even know if he knew that Wobbly Walrus was going to be used on the show. And I don't know if you heard Jim Cornette's podcast after last week's SmackDown, but he said, why didn't they call it Paulrus? And it's like, why didn't they call it Paulrus? He was annoyed about it for a few different reasons. He gets annoyed about everything. But one of the reasons that he was annoyed, he was like, why didn't they call it Paulrus? And it's like, they should have called it Paulrus. Wobbly Paulrus. Shay says, let's do Night of Champions 2015. Seth versus Sting. Yeah, that would be a good one to do, but it might bring back some awful memories. Might be a hard one to watch, that. Sting's currently his last match. So, Battleground sucks, does it, Dallas? You're the first person I've seen not like it. That's interesting. If anyone's got it, then let me know. Let me know if you've got Battlegrounds, because I haven't got it yet. Killer Sasuke says, can we do a WrestleMania 31 watch along? Not on Sunday. It would make sense to do a Clash of Champions, Night of Champions. What with it being Clash of Champions the week after. But we will get round to doing WrestleMania 31, yes. Carmella would be the queen of clubs, says Woken Hulk. Mr. Rotella says, hit the join button for unnecessary emojis. That's true. I mean, I would say that you do get other benefits, but do you? Really? I don't even know. Fiend versus Brock, says Austin. Mr. Tacos says Battlegrounds is decent. The Rock followed me on Twitter, says Dallas, did he? Brock versus Edge. Yeah, that's a good shout. I forgot about Edge. He's current roster, isn't he? Anthony says Reigns versus Adam Cole or Reigns versus Keith Lee. Yonder One says, have you got any of those AEW figs? I don't, unfortunately. Me and figures just have had a really bad relationship in 2020 because I don't order offline. And the reason I don't is because I'm always mentally preparing myself to go on a toy hunt. It's just physically I never actually do. But mentally I'm always prepared to do it. So it's always like, what's the point in ordering it? Because when I go to a toy hunt, I'm just going to see a load of figures I've already got. So I just don't. I wait for toy hunts, and 2020 has been awful. Days, singing the Savage song. That would be gold on TikTok. That would be gold on TikTok. I should get on that old TikTok, shouldn't I? Isn't it banned now or something? I saw that Donald Trump's not happy with it. So I think he's banned it. Brooklyn Brawler, that would be so typical. I'd just get on there. I'm a savage. And a booty nasty. And a booty nasty. Yeah, I'd be doing all this, right? And no one would watch it because it's been banned. But you get a little taster of it right there. Enjoy that. Is the Boogeyman making a comeback? Asks John. I don't believe so. Bank on Riots says, I miss Owen Hart, Yokozuna, and Chris Benoit. Ben Patterson says, are you on socials, Instagram, Twitter? And are you ready for Tuck on Monday? I am ready. I was born ready for Tuck. I'm on Twitter a little bit. There is a official Wrestling Days account on Instagram, but I never use it. It just tends to have figure pictures go up on it. I don't see the point of putting a picture of me eating some pasta. Do you know what I mean? So I just tend to use it for if we go on a toy hunt or whatever. And as we said, 2020's been awful for that. So there is an Instagram, but Twitter's what I tend to use more. Kyrillos, Sharif, Kyrillos says, Days, I'm one of your biggest fans from Egypt. Shout out to you and the Sphinx. Would you consider visiting Egypt anytime soon? Probably not whilst we're in lockdown. But I could imagine going back to Egypt. Yeah, I've been. I went and did the tourist thing, you know. You have a look around at the pyramids and the Sphinx, and even went to Tutankhamun exhibition that was there, and saw how they made that paper. What was it called? Papyrus. That's a word I've not used since school. Is it papyrus? And they used... What did they use? It was how they used to make paper back in the day. Out of trees or something. I can't remember. No, not bandages. They didn't have bandages. What are you on about? I think it was leaves or something. If any of what I've just said is true, I'm amazed. Because I have not touched any of that knowledge since school. If you're young, right, and you're watching this, I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. A lot of what you learn at school, you just don't need. I'm just being straight up honest. I have never used trigonometry in my life. Never. I don't even know what it is anymore. I might even have just made the word up. Right? Trigonometry, not a clue. And papyrus, never needed it. There's tons of paper. Yeah? We've got so much paper. You just don't need to know about papyrus. So, stay in school, yeah? Do your best, right? I don't want to get the blame for you failing, but I'm just saying, just know that you don't need everything. We haven't seen Retribution for a while. We did. We saw them on Monday. Don't you remember? They were having a lie down. Don't you remember that they invaded and then Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre jumped on top of them and then all of them like lying on the floor, easily arrestable, easily unmaskable. Yeah? Don't you remember? You remember that crazy group that we're meant to be fearful of got completely wiped out? You remember that on Monday, yeah? Wasn't great. LeBron fan 23 says school is dumb. Now, I didn't say that, but I do also agree. And I have also broken the chat, which is very exciting. A lot of school is rubbish. I didn't want to start this conversation, right? I don't want people. I definitely feel like I'm going to get the blame for a lot of this. I'm definitely going to get the blame for breaking the chat. I've got a little pop-out chat, and I absolutely can just currently see like 3 words. I've blown the text up that big. So I have really messed that up to the point where I'm going to have to try and go back into YouTube to find the chat. Oh, disaster has struck. We've only got 19 minutes. 19 minutes, my friends. 19 minutes. This is your 19-minute warning. LSW says school is rubbish. Yeah. School. Huh. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. School is for chumps. Yeah, we're going to rebel. Days is anti-school. Hashtag cancel days. Yeah, what? School is getting in the way of me watching wrestling, says J14. It is. It is. You just think of the amount of wrestling that you could watch if school, if you didn't have to learn about papyrus. Yeah, you could watch so much wrestling. Delete school. Delete it. King Gaming says, Days, if Tessa does come to WWE, do you think she'll go to NXT, Raw, or SmackDown? I would imagine NXT. I would imagine. I mean, she's coming from Impact, and I don't think WWE really view that as that big of a deal. A lot of former Impact stars, when Impact was even bigger, went to NXT. Look at EC3, went to NXT. Bobby Roode went to NXT. And that's when it was even bigger than it is now. So, yeah, I don't think they would drop her straight into Raw and SmackDown. I think she would go to NXT first. Boogeyman versus The Fiend says, welcome to Good Burgle. School is an experience, says Isman. It is an experience. Mr. Hotel says, I don't need no education. You're just another brick in the wall. Tuck School. Hashtag Tuck School, says Monica King. Oh, are you like the leader of the rebellion now? You're the leader of like all the rebellious school kids. Congratulations, Monica King. Sean Reset says school was good. Don't spread that nonsense. Okay. Let's make this crystal. School is important. No one is denying that, right? School is definitely important. I'm just saying, it's not valuable. You don't need it. Yeah, they teach you loads of stuff you just don't need. I don't know. I have never needed to know any information about tectonic plates, right? There's loads of plates. I don't need to know about the tectonic ones, right? So, and I don't even know if that's a word. So, do you know what I mean? It is a bit pointless. But stay in school and make sure you try your hardest, yeah? SMB says, do you think Bray will go over to Raw at the next draft next month? Where do you think WWE are going with Alexa and Nikki tonight? I appreciate the vid. Shout out to you, buddy. I don't think Bray goes to Raw. The only thing I'm going to base that on is the fact that I think Fox have got to have some kind of say as to what they want. and they surely know that people love the Firefly Funhouse and the Fiend character, and do you know what I mean? I can't imagine they'd be too eager to lose that. I think that they want to do Orton Fiend. I mean, they have to at some point. It's the big Fiend feud. So we were saying this earlier. I think that Orton goes to SmackDown rather than Bray goes to Raw. I could see it whereby Roman stays on SmackDown and AJ goes back to Raw. I think they'll try and split him from Paul Heyman. AJ has said it's water under the bridge, forgive but don't forget kind of a thing. But I could still see him trying to separate them. Also, if you're taking Orton from Raw, you're going to need to put someone over to Raw that's got a bit of star power about them. So, yeah, it's going to be quite interesting, the draft. It'll be quite interesting to see how it all pans out and plays out. But, no, I think they'll keep him on SmackDown. I don't think Fox, who are paying a lot of money, will want to lose him at this stage. In regards to Alexa and Nikki, I think they're heading on a collision course. I mean, it's an obvious feud for Nikki and for Alexa. So I think they're on a collision course. I can see them having a match at some point. We know it's not Clash of Champions. So you look at it and go, are they going to do a match next week? That wouldn't really make sense. Like, Nikki has a match on Friday and then has a match on Sunday at Clash of Champions. I suppose they could do that. But it might make a bit more sense for them to just wait a little bit longer until after Clash of Champions. I think once we've got past Clash of Champions, I can see us then having Bayley, Sasha, and Nikki, Alexa. And, you know, we're underway then. So I'm going to say that we are heading to a split between them two. Shout out to everyone that's joining us. We are 13 minutes away. People saying the timer is froze. Okay, I'll get to it. Jennifer Lockhart says, how do you feel about Melina returning? Shout out to you, Jennifer. Hope you are well. I'm not overly hyped, if I'm being honest. I mean, I think she was all right, but she was never someone that resonated that much with me. I like AJ Lee, and I like Beth Phoenix and Chyna and Lee. I mean, I love women's wrestling. I'm a big fan of women's wrestling. But for whatever reason, Melina just never... She was always someone that was just really there, rather than like having compelling stories and these great matches. I can't remember like loads of great Melina matches. So I think that there's people that are into her. But she was never, like, one of my favourites. Then she turned up in NWA and honestly didn't really do much in NWA. I think they had her for her name. And she was, like, leader of a bit of a female faction, including Thunder Rosa. But she was overshadowed by Thunder Rosa. Whenever we saw Melina in the ring, her matches were okay. I don't know. I mean, I'm up for giving her a chance and seeing what she can do, but... not overly hyped, if I'm being honest. But let's see. You know, I'm not down. I'm not like down on it either. So, Whack In says, Days, my teacher told me what's 1-1, and I told her John Cena. Well, I mean, you definitely got that wrong. If you was in any doubt, you definitely got that wrong. The answer's 3. People saying that the timer froze. It seems to be working. I don't know if I've just somehow fixed it without even doing anything, but... shout out to Jerry Smith. Shout out to Cooper Slays. Days, Total Bellas on Sunday. No. I'll tell you now, we'll never do Total Bellas. For me, they were the worst part of Total Divas. They brought a lot of drama, not really much in the way of comedy. So, what I enjoyed in Total Divas was like the funny moments, which tended to come from like Cameron, and little bit with Eva. Natalia was quite funny as well. So, but yeah, I'd say Cameron was the main source of comedy. But yeah, the Bellas, they were just drama, full on drama, relationships and all of that. So I've got no interest in Total Bellas. Can you name 5 superstars from NXT that you think will become main roster women's champion, WWE champion, and Universal champion? I might struggle, to be honest. I mean, you would look at it and say Tommaso Ciampa. I think Tommaso's got a great look, but it's hard to know how Vince is going to use them. I mean, you really want big guys, so I'd look at it and say Damian Priest. But again, I just don't know how Vince is going to use them. You look at these people that have got such potential, like Ricochet, and look at how they get used. Aleister Black. I mean, I would have said Aleister Black would have been a name I would have given you for Universal Champ. But seemingly is just not on Vince's radar, you know? So I can't answer. I can tell you who I think should go on to do it. I think that Io Shirai is brilliant in the ring. I think that she needs a bit of work on her promos, but then so did Asuka, and Asuka's, you know, incredible promo now. So I can't see why they wouldn't pull the trigger on Io Shirai. I don't know why they wouldn't pull the trigger on Damian Priest. I don't know why they wouldn't pull the trigger on Tommaso. Obviously, Adam Cole is a no-brainer. You could say Johnny Gargano. I think that he is probably the closest we've got to Shawn Michaels. Obviously, he's married to Candice LeRae. So you've got a very interesting dynamic there as well. So you could say Candice, great female wrestler, married to Johnny. So as we said, you know, there's something there. You could do Johnny and Candice versus Seth and Becky, for example. Do some very interesting matchups. So there's a lot of good talent down in NXT. One, Kushida, for me. I mean, if I was booking, I'd be pushing Kushida to the moon. Kushida, by the way, as well, is the first name that is going into that gauntlet match. So NXT have announced a gauntlet match, and there's going to be 5 competitors, and the winner will get a shot at Finn Balor's title, I think at TakeOver, which is not that far away, a couple of weeks away, and we've got a TakeOver. And Kushida is the first name to go into that gauntlet, and I hope he wins it. I really do. I really hope he wins it. Adam Cole should come up to the main roster. And yeah, I agree. Adam Cole's awesome. I'm confident that when he does, he will be booked very well, because certainly if they bring him up with the rest of Undisputed Era, I think that you've got a very good group. He is the leader of that group, automatically puts him at quite a high level. If he comes up on his own, he might struggle a little bit more, but his talent will shine through. The WWE Universe, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I just don't think they will allow WWE to not utilize Adam Cole. He is loved, so I've high hopes that he'll be all right when he gets called up. Right, we are very quickly running out of time. I know I say this all the time, I mean it. It always blows my mind that we sit here and we chat, and time just absolutely flies. I mean, that's nearly the hour gone as we build towards SmackDown. Let's just do a quick recap of what we can expect tonight on the show. So we've got Jey Uso and Roman Reigns taking on Sheamus and King Corbin in a Samoan street fight. We've got AJ Styles taking on Sami Zayn in a match that has got potential to be absolutely brilliant. Can't wait for that. That's like a dream match. AJ Styles, Sami Zayn. I just wish it was happening at like a pay-per-view. Sasha Banks is going to be addressing Bayley tonight. Firefly Funhouse, because it did say to be continued. And we've also got Alexa Bliss hosting a Moment of Bliss with Nikki Cross. So we've got all of that squeezed in with other things into a action-packed 2-hour show. The other things just to talk about, we spoke about Melina. We've spoken about Dave Meltzer and the parking lot rating. The other thing to mention is that Thunder Rosa match. There's quite a bit of talk happening around that Thunder Rosa AEW match from Wednesday. A lot of rumours that it actually turned into a shoot. A lot of rumours that they actually started physically hurting each other, like throwing in stiff strikes. Apparently some backstage heat between them. Now, I don't know the truth. We could probably find out the truth, actually. I'm pretty sure that Brian Rosa would tell us if we asked. But my gut feeling is I'm not sure that there was like stiff stuff being thrown. I think there probably was, but I think Thunder Rosa just throws in stiff stuff anyway. Like, she's very hard hitting. It's part of the reason why I like her. Her work just looks really legit. So, and there was quite a few moments that looked very legit, but I don't know if it's got anything to do with them falling out backstage and it turning into a proper fight. I'm not sure. The thing is that I don't think either of them have got a full-time contract. I think they're still getting used on a date-by-date basis. So if they did that, they could surely be sacrificing any potential permanent contract. It's just not in their interest. Like, it's in their interest to make each other look really good. It's not in their interest to start shooting on each other. Like, it's really bad business. And so I don't know that that's what's happened. But there's no denying that Ivelisse was no-selling some of Thunder Rosa's stuff. No denying that. She really wound me up as we were watching. So, yeah, it's very interesting. I'd love to find out a little bit more about it. If we do get Brian Rosa on, I will try and establish the truth and see what he's saying. Because very interested to find out what the truth is. My gut feeling is that there was something not quite right, but it's just not in their interest to make each other look bad. It's really not in their interest. Not where you're trying to get a permanent contract. I mean, you get a permanent contract with AEW, you're a made person. Do you know what I mean? Because you're going to get a good contract, first of all. AEW are going to look after you. But as well as that, you get in international TV exposure, potentially an action figure, included in a computer game. This is like, do you know what I mean? The rewards are huge if you get a permanent contract and you join AEW on a permanent basis, and they should definitely take Thunder Rosa. They should definitely sign her up. But so that's why I just can't imagine them, like, throwing it away. Like having a little backstage feud grudge that spills over to a match. I can't. It doesn't sit quite right. It doesn't seem like smart business to me. So I don't know. I don't know what the truth is. Brian Alvarez says he'd spoke to a few people backstage, and they're saying the reports are rubbish. There was no issues backstage. So it's hard to know where the truth is. It's hard to know, but I'm seeing a lot of videos, a lot of people saying they started shooting on each other, they hate each other, and all this kind of stuff. I don't know what the truth is. I don't know. Gut feeling is that they'd have too much to lose. So it's interesting, though. Days, did you see Tessa's picture in 2K? I did, yes. I did. I was very surprised. Ahmad says, let's get ready for Smackdown. Yes. Are you ready for a good time? Randy says, what's on Smackdown? Samoan street fight between Jey Uso, Roman Reigns as a team, taking on Sheamus and King Corbin. We've also got AJ Styles against Sami Zayn. Sasha Banks is addressing Bayley, and Alexa Bliss is hosting a Moment of Bliss with Nikki Cross. Jerry Lopez, shout out to you, says, hi Wrestling Days, I'm going to be in the Thunderdome. Have fun, buddy. Have fun. There's been a few people that have been in the Thunderdome. Get ready to be told how to react. But, I don't have a problem with that. I don't mind them giving a bit of direction. It's better than what was happening before, where everyone was just sitting there. But yeah, enjoy it, my friend. Enjoy it. Moda says, Days, Dallas Stars fan 35.2, and I would like to extend an invitation to be an honorary Dallas Stars fan to help cheer on our Stars in the Stanley Cup final that starts tomorrow. Let's go, Stars. Well, there we go. Shout out to you, Moda. Thank you very much for the support. Shout out to the Stars as well, who I've never heard of, if I'm being honest. I've never
Anonymous
heard
is
of
a legend. They donated $20 via a super chat. Police light, police light, police light. Days Dallas Stars fan 35.2, and I would like to extend you an invitation to be an honorary Dallas Stars fan to help.
It doesn't read it all out. I read it out for you anyway, Moda. Yeah, I've never heard of them. But a shout out to them. I hope they're good people, and I hope they do well. Right, we're starting with the dirt sheet. John Morrison and The Miz. I've never got into these two. Right, the dirt sheet. Does the SmackDown song go, "Are you ready for some good wine?" says David Hall. It's exactly how it goes. Oh, I just don't like these two. This is just for me, a flat way to start the show. Right. Miz says he's going to expose the truth behind Bayley's attack. Let's go, Lightning. I hate these two. So do I, man. This is boring, says Future Compilations. I think it probably worked back in the day, but it just doesn't work now. There are some people that like it, though. I know there's some people that really like the music video they did and whatever. I hope Bayley hurts Miz and Morrison, says D. Leach. I do as well. They've just got a clip from Talking Smack. Okay, so he's talking about Mandy Rose moving to Raw. Miz and Morrison are boring. What a way to start a show. I know, man. Dirt Sheet was good 8 to 10 years ago, says Sean. They are annoying, says Mr. Tacos. They're not funny. He says that he's trying to help Otis. Okay, Miz versus Morrison would be a great match. -5 already, says Wrestling Days fan. Very annoying, says Lillian. Shout out to you. This is a bad start, says Imtiaz. Hope you are well. Chris says, wasted as a team. Miz was flying at one point. Seems a waste to pair with JM. Perhaps we need an X division of sorts. Oh, dude, that would be amazing. Honestly, that would be amazing. We've said, like, do a light heavyweight championship. But whatever you do has got to be treated as important as the WWE Universal titles. So they have to main event shows. There's no point having a light heavyweight championship that's always middle of the card. Because it just will feel like middle of the card. It's got to main event. And they've got the talent. I mean, Rey Mysterio, Andrade, Angel Garza, Finn Balor you could bring back up. Tommaso, Johnny Gargano, Ricochet, Mustafa Ali. The list goes on and on and on, doesn't it? Here's Otis. Otis has come out. Otis has got his briefcase and his lunchbox. Otis takes down Miz. Well, at least they're doing something with Otis. He's on his own. There's no Tucky. There's no Tuck. He's throwing the chairs out the ring. Oh, there's Tucky. There's Tucky. Tucker throwing Miz in the ring. Belly to belly. Here's John Morrison. Over the top. It's just such an awful, awful way to use John Morrison. There was such excitement when it was announced that John Morrison was coming back. And just look at how they've used him. Caterpillar by Otis. Elbow drop. Otis climbing up. So John Morrison outside the ring. Big splash by Otis. Well, there we go. Days, is the contract in the lunchbox or the suitcase? Lunchbox. I'm going to say lunchbox. If it gets revealed, I don't know. Right, tonight, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso taking on King Corbin and Sheamus in a Samoan street fight. Sasha Banks exclusive interview coming up. Do you think that a good cash-in would be at Survivor Series during Champion versus Champion for both titles? No. I would... Otis has quite easily ripped off Miz's suit. So Miz is in his pants. Why would he be embarrassed? He wrestles in trunks. Why would he be embarrassed? He wrestles like that. I don't understand. Michael Cole says, how can you not laugh at that? Are you watching, Michael? Easily is the answer, Michael. Easily. Days, who have you got in the Stanley Cup? Oh, I'm a big fan of the Dallas Stars and Stripes. So, big fan of them. I love their main player, John, who is going to hit the puck in the net and win the Stanley Cup. So, yeah, keep an eye out for him. He's going to be a big star in the future. Some of you might not have heard of him, but he's a big deal. Vape Ross Vape says that was so bad. Otis versus Miz. Bra and panties. Yes. Daniel Carty. Shout out to you, my friend. Crosses fingers for Funhouse, says Sonny Wolf. Shout out to you, Sonny. Hope you're well. Danny Barnhouse. Shout out to you. He doesn't wrestle in white trunks. Oh, that's true, yeah. That's true. That is embarrassing. Thinking about it now. He normally wrestles in, is it black? But those were white. Oh, the shame! Matt Riddle should beat Jeff Hardy, says bruh. Can I get a shout out? Says Jesse Miles. Yes, shout out to you. Soup. Why is everyone repeating their name twice? Bra and Soup. Do you like Mexican food or Indian food? I like both. I like curries are very popular I think curries are more popular in the UK than they are in India, and I am not just saying that. They have become our national dish. Like, you can go to any town, village, city, of course, hamlet. Yeah, you can go to any little dwelling and you will find an Indian restaurant here in the UK. There's like Indian areas that are like just full of like several Indian restaurants in a row. Like, we cannot get enough of Indian food and curries and all of that kind of stuff. It's become our national dish. So, yeah, I am a fan of curries. Mexican food, you don't tend to see so much, but, I mean, obviously, like tacos, burritos. We don't have, we don't have many Taco Bells, believe it or not, here in the UK. I want to say there's maybe about 20 in the country, but they've only opened in the past few years. There was one that opened in Southampton just as I was leaving. So I have tried Taco Bell in Southampton, and it was nice. I liked it. It was really good. But yeah, we don't really have Taco Bell. They might have opened some more now. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was just kind of starting to come over. Right, we're back with that's enough about Taco Bell. Here's Kayla saying, asking Miz if he regrets. Who's he calling? Did you see it? Was it enough? Miz said, "Did you see it? Was it enough?" Kayla Braxton wearing glasses. No, she looks good in glasses. Has she got a new tattoo as well? She seems to have something here that I've never seen before. Kind of looks like she's got a new tattoo and she's wearing glasses. I don't know what are we going to? Miz just said, "Did you see it? Did we get it?" Unless he's talking about a bad segment, I'm not sure what he's referring to. Right, here is the Lucha House Party. It is Gran Metalik. Gran Metalik. Don't know who Gran Metalik is facing. I just imagine it's going to be like Cesaro or Nakamura, maybe. When did Kayla start wearing glasses? I don't know. I first time I've seen it, but they did show her on Talking Smack, and she was wearing them then. So a recent development, I would say. BBYPSI says, "Days the embarrassing part was Miz had nothing to tuck into his tighty whities." That's true. Oh, that was right as well. It is Cesaro. It is Cesaro. Super predictable. Oh, I tell you what. I am just not feeling SmackDown so far. Not into this match. Right, Cesaro against Gran Metalik. The Loser House Party says Dallas Stars fan. I'm a Dallas Stars fan as well. Anthony says, "Days, couldn't they just do it to Morrison?" Well, we don't know what's happening with that story. Miz has said, "Did you get it?" So we're going to have to see what that means. So unfortunately, we are going to revisit that story at some point tonight. Winston says, "I'm tired of this match." It hasn't even started. Although I'm tired of it as well. Sean says, "Days, this will be good." Yeah, I mean, it will be good. It just doesn't. I just don't care. It doesn't mean anything. I don't care. It's basically to promote them facing each other at Clash of Champions. We've got a little graphic saying that it'll be Shinsuke and Cesaro against the Lucha House Party. Cesaro charging over, rolled up by Grand Metalik. Against the ropes goes Grand Metalik. Round the houses. Nice. Tilt-a-whirl head scissors. Sean says Otis needs to have a successful cash-in of the Money in the Bank contract. If he doesn't, won't that be like 4 out of the last 5 that have failed, thus not making it valuable? It's a good point. I don't know if the recent ones have failed, to be honest. I can't remember. Who had it last year? Didn't Brock have it and he won with it in recent years? So they just need to book him. If they book him, good. Book him well, put him in some interesting storylines, then him cashing in 2021 might be all right. But right now, he doesn't feel like the right person to have that briefcase. Nice head scissors takedown by Grand Metalik. Grand Metalik in control at the moment. Miz said, did you see it and get it? Would that be the Money in the Bank contract, says BBYPSI. I don't know who he would be on the phone to, unless he... I didn't see anyone taking it, so I don't think so. Pretty sure it's still in Otis and Tucker's... Unless that someone snuck down, opened it, and grabbed it. Did you get it? Yeah, maybe. Maybe it was a distraction. Maybe you're right. Maybe someone has pinched the contract. Although saying that, if it ends up going to Miz, I'm not going to be that excited either. Wrestle with Andy says, do you think Alexa is going to turn full heel on Nikki? She could attack her, but I don't know if that would qualify as full heel, because I'll bet anything she apologizes after, or apologizes next week. But I could see there being an attack, yes. Right. Kalisto and Lindsay have been kicked from ringside. Okay. Kayla Braxton announced on the bump that she is getting her long-awaited laser eye surgery. Okay. We are at commercial break, by the way. We are at commercial break. Dallas Stars fan says, people complain about SmackDown and we're only 17 minutes in. Yeah, but you got to remember, it's only a 2-hour show, so, I mean, we are not too... With the commercial break, we're not going to be too far from a quarter of the way through the show. So, you've got to say that it's a bad promo segment. Granted, it might be that someone has stolen the briefcase and maybe stolen the contract or something, but even with that, I still don't care. For me, if they're going to do something with Otis, I want it to be with someone that's got a bit of momentum, and Miz and Morrison are just full-on cringe. That's my personal opinion. And this match, who cares? The problem I've got with this match, say Cesaro wins, say Grand Metalik wins. This match is designed to kill time. It's here to kill time and advertise the fourth. But there's so many better ways they could advertise the forthcoming tag match. So many more engaging ways. I just think it's very lazy to just have someone out. I mean, like, what next week? Does it mean we're getting Nakamura versus Lindsay Dorado? Is that next week's booked? It just feels very lazy. Very lazy. Maybe Miz has got someone to strip Otis of the briefcase and we get a new holder. Kevin says, maybe Chalmers, yeah, maybe. Kevin says, Dace, who is your favourite striker, midfielder, defender, and goalkeeper? Ever? Right now? I don't know. I mean, I couldn't even tell you who my favourite player, let alone all of those positions. I don't really watch world football. I'm only familiar with the Premier League, really. I don't bother with, like, Serie A and all stuff like that. Obviously, I love Ronaldo because he used to play for United, so I do have a soft spot for him. I do like Kylian Mbappe as well, actually, over in France. I think Greenwood's exciting, but he's not had a good few weeks. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think, is a great defender. I don't know. De Bruyne, I think, is excellent, really fun to watch. So there's a few names for you. Sean Reset says, Days, the Boogeyman teased a WWE return. Cool. We've seen him a couple of times on, like, anniversary shows and whatever, but I'm not bothered. His time's been and gone, hasn't it? Although you would have said the same about MVP. So, maybe he is going to come back. Perhaps we're just going to relive, like, 2000 and whatever. Right, we're back with this match. Episode 1100, this is. Chalmers says there's no tag division anymore. I know, I just... Robin813 says, Days, do you think NXT are listening to us by finally pushing Kushida? I hope so. I don't know that they are listening to us. It might just be that it's just time. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've told a few other stories that they wanted to tell. So maybe it is just time. But either way, I don't care. Push the man. Just push the man. So, yeah, I'm rooting for him. I really hope he wins. Sasha is a Jedi. She's going to use some mind tricks on Bayley. Days, is your favourite Jadon Sancho? It will be if he signs. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to come to United. Ryan says, I ordered The Fiend and Hollywood Hogan figures. They both look awesome. Another head scissor takedown by Grand Metalik. And he just gets a 2 on Cesaro. Miz is leading Retribution, says NBA Hype. I think they're on Raw, so I'm not sure that he is. He came crashing down there, Grand Metalik, but Cesaro got his knees up. Big running uppercut. Neutralizer, gets it. Rolls over Metalik. 2, 3. Cesaro wins. Okay, so that's that done. Cesaro wins. Did you watch NXT UK? They've got a better tag division than the other 3 shows combined. I haven't watched it. No, I do want to watch it, but I haven't seen it yet. Also tonight, AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn. I really think that's going to be excellent. As long as there's no silliness like Jeff getting involved, which will probably happen. And that's Samoan Street Fight. Days, what's your favourite Kushida match? Mine is Kushida versus Volta. He had some incredible matches in New Japan. We've got Kayla doing an interview with Jey Uso. Yeah, Jey Uso has got to be concerned here because last week he was having to fight the match on his own, and then Roman just came walking down at the end and picked up the win. So what I want to see here personally from Jey is I want Jey to show some concern. I don't want him to say, yeah, family, it's going to be me and Roman and love in life. Jey has got to acknowledge the fact that he he had to fight that whole match on his own last week. I want him to talk about that. I want him to start to question Roman a little bit, you know? Because Roman just came down, hit one spear, and got the win. And last week's show ended with them just staring at each other. So let's see what he's going to say here. Last week was a miscommunication. He's saying that Paul Heyman told him last week was just a miscommunication. We're not little anymore. Uso Penitentiary. Yeah, didn't really get what I wanted, to be honest. Right, moment of bliss coming up. So that is coming up next. Moment of bliss. Alexa and Nikki. It wasn't a bad promo, by the way. Just to wrap up, wasn't a bad promo. I don't want to see it like he's falling. Well, his character is falling for, you know, what he's being told. He's being told, it was just a miscommunication. It clearly wasn't. Clearly wasn't a miscommunication. Daze, what's your favourite Asuka match? Wow, that's a great question. Favorite Asuka match? Oh, I don't know if I've ever thought about that. I don't know if I've ever thought about what my favorite Asuka match is. The one that comes to mind straight away, so I'll say that, is Asuka versus Becky, Royal Rumble 2019. The reason why that's my favorite is because Asuka beat Becky. Becky was red hot at that point. I mean, really, she was. It was. You might remember she'd missed Survivor Series, the blood and everything down her nose, and then at Royal Rumble she faces Asuka. Totally expect Asuka to get blown away. Asuka wins. And the match itself is a really great match. So, for me, it really showed respect to Asuka. It kept her strong. She picked up the win. The match itself was great. Becky ended up entering the Rumble that year and winning it. So, next day, people aren't talking about her losing to Asuka. People are talking about the fact that she's going to WrestleMania. So Becky came out of it a winner. Asuka came out of it a winner. The fans came out of it as winners. Yeah, I'd say that match. It's a great match. Sarah says, who's your favourite from the women's evolution? Well, the women's evolution is an ongoing thing, isn't it? I mean, you could argue it's happening even now. Until the women like 50-50 with the guys, and you see as many women's matches as you do men's matches, you'd have to say that evolution is still happening. So really, who's your favourite superstar at the moment, like female superstar, is kind of the question. And I love Asuka. I'm an Asuka stan. I'll be quite happy to admit that. So I do really like Asuka. I am a fan of Charlotte as well. I know a lot of people say, she only got where she got because she's Ric Flair's daughter. But if you look at her matches, her match quality, she's had some incredible matches. against, various different opponents. Like, my favourite WrestleMania match this year was Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. And Charlotte makes a great point. It's not Ric Flair that's doing that match for her. It's not Ric Flair in the ring. That's Charlotte that's in the ring. So I think Charlotte is doing a lot of good stuff, and maybe not getting the full credit for it. But I think Paige played a massive part in the women's evolution. I think AJ Lee did as well. You have to mention both of them. Right. Boo match flow, says John. Yeah, stupid match flow. The bro that runs the show. Right, we should be going over to a moment of bliss, but we've just got Matt Riddle first. Bro is a universal language. Check this out, bro. Know your bro. Happy. Sad. I thought that was sleepy. Anger. Bro. Introspective. Bro. That was rubbish, afraid. Bro. Bro. Confident. It's that easy, guys. Know your bro. Right, here comes Alexa Fiend Bliss. What's your thoughts on Bayley attacking Sasha? Loved it. I thought it was an incredible beatdown. Perfect turn. You'd waited and waited, and when it finally happened, it was sweet. Yeah, I thought it was really good. Dun dun. Okay. We've got Alexa. She's all in black. Black and lace. My best friend, Nikki Cross. She's got her hair in buns, and I don't know why. But her shoes look like Bray's shoes as well. I'm sure they're the same kind of boots that Bray wears. I'm sure she's got the same footwear as Bray. I'd have to double check it. That was cool, wasn't it, last week? Sister Abigail. So she's wearing black and lace. I need Sasha to be with Peyton and Billy with Bayley. It's Crazy Hair Day, says J14. Welcome to Crazy Hair Day. Alright. Okay, Alexa says, as your friend, congratulations. Alexa says, I don't have a filter. Nikki says, I'm ready. I'm ready. What's your plan of action? Alexa says, for most of the summer that you challenged Bayley, you kept losing. What? Yeah, she's just doing a job. Nikki Cross says she's going to tell everyone why this is different. It's different because there's no Sasha. That's a good point. But I bet Sasha gets involved. Right? So she says she saw what she did to her with that chair. Okay, so Nikki just cut in a promo. Very focused promo. Alexa just watching on. Nikki says, does that answer your question? Nikki says she's got a question. Here we go. Why did your sister Abigail me? Nikki says, what's going on? You hit me with a sister Abigail. And then you just walked off. Alexa says she can't explain it. Alexa says she doesn't understand it. Yeah, great timing by Lacey Evans making her way out. So just as Alexa was starting to talk about how she can't understand it, she can't control it. What is this, Dr. Phil? That's a good line. Are we going to be talking about your feelings? Lacey. Damn you, Lacey! I know, yeah, Lacey's ruined it. Alexa attacks Nikki with the mandible claw. Well, she hasn't. She may, but she hasn't yet. Right. Does this lead into a Lacey-Nikki match? Oh, this is dull. They probably want to drag the Alexa turn out a bit more. Yes. Eric says, I didn't care what Alexa was going to say, and I don't care about what Lacey's got to say. Tamina needs to kick their asses. This is just another... I don't know what's happening. SmackDown is normally really, really good, but so far all these segments are really just under-delivering. Nikki Cross is brawling with Lacey Evans. I mean, honestly, you get Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and it's like, wow, what are we going to get? What is this going to lead to? What are we going to find out? Well, I'll tell you what it leads to. It's going to lead to Lacey Evans versus Nikki Cross. This is silly, says Baby Bra. What's happening? We're about to go to commercial break. Lacey Evans came out, interrupted what Alexa was saying. And honestly, it looks like we're going to get Nikki versus Lacey now. There could be a moment during the match where Alexa does something like attacks mandible claws, and then walks away again. So we could still get something, but we haven't had it yet. Team Bad reunite in the near future, says Karate Buff. Haunted Radio says, Days, I'm not sure I want to see a guy who screams, bro, retire Brock. Bro. John says, maybe the reason this is a bad show is because we could get a great ending. Ryan says, I feel like they're going to drop the ball on the Alexa stuff, and I kept giving him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what the problem is? Or what I think the problem is that if Alexa doesn't understand it, right? So that Nikki was saying, what is everything okay? What's going on? Of all the things to hit me with, you hit me with a Sister Abigail. If she was really talking to Alexa in that moment, right? Because Alexa said, I can't explain it, right? I lose myself or whatever, right? But she didn't say it with the concern that you would want. Like, this is her opportunity to be like, help me. I don't know. She could have she could have started getting upset. She could have said, I'm Nikki, I know that this is meant to be about you, but I need your help. And she really could have gone somewhere with it, and that would have been quite intriguing. Instead, it felt very emotionless. It felt very scripted. And I kind of feel like the delivery on it could have been a little bit better. It's frustrating that Lacey comes out, but I think it's a good point that was made that, that just allows them to, extend it a little bit longer, which they do need to do because we know that it's not Nikki Alexa at Clash of Champions. Like, WWE don't want you thinking too much about Nikki Alexa at this stage. They're planting seeds, very obvious seeds, but it's all about Clash of Champions, Nikki Bailey, right? Got to do that first. Then we can do Nikki Alexa after. So, yeah, for me, I would have liked a bit more emotion in there. I would have liked the real Alexa to have really shown some concern and, kind of asked for help, really. Got a little bit upset and really, first glimpse that she's now acknowledging that something's not right and that she's not in control. Because simply saying it, I don't feel I'm in control, quite emotionless, makes it feel scripted. This show is yikers, says General Snotty Notty. Haunted Radio says, Days, what would the Fiend turn Brock into? He is neither a face nor a heel. I don't... I struggle with the he turns people thing. So I don't know. We'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. I can tell you that Alexa is still out there. She is on commentary, so there is every chance that she is going to turn on Nikki at some point during this. Lacey straight out of the ring with some antibacterial hand wash. Okay. Cross getting thrown into the ring. Nice leg sweep by Lacey. Right, Lacey Evans versus Nikki Cross right now. We are about 15 minutes away from the halfway point. Just trying to listen to see what Alexa's saying. Alexa says, I 100% think Nikki can beat Bailey at Clash of Champions. And they're asking Alexa if she's all right. She says she's fine. Down goes Nikki. Alexa says we all have our off days. I see you having off days, Michael. I don't call you out on them. I'm waiting for him to have an on day. This SmackDown has been horrible, says Wrestle King. Hunter Crawford says, Days, what if the lights go out and Alexa attacks Nikki with the mandible claw and costs her the championship? Beautiful. I'd love that. That'd be awesome. Lights go out, Clash of Champions. When they come back on, it's Alexa in the ring. Love that. Shout out to you, Hunter. Lopez Days, Alexa's hair this week looks more like Funhouse Bray. It doesn't look like The Fiend's. I suppose it's... I don't know. She's got too much hair. Alexa Bliss says, how dare you? There's nothing about me that resembles Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans in control during this match. J14 says SmackDown's been a bit dull so far. Lacey working on the arm of Nikki. Alexa says that Nikki should be the first and only Nikki Cross. She shouldn't be like anyone else. Alexa interrupts this match. Dave in real life says, I'm loving Alexa on commentary. Lacey Evans is terrible, says Jay Whitefeather. Okay, Lacey is rubbing her forearm across the face of Nikki. Now she's trying to pull on the arm of Nikki. Alexa seems very comfortable on commentary, but she's not commentating on the match. Kicks to the side of the head by Lacey. Good shot of the crowd. Nikki desperately trying to get up. Trying to kip up, and she does manage to get up. Lacey on her back. Getting up to her feet. Clothesline. Down goes Nikki. Days, what's your dream match? I'd love to see Undertaker Sting. Push by Nikki. Lacey slams Nikki down. Drives knee into the arm. Yeah, it's just a bit dull. Lacey working on Nikki's arm, slams her down. Alexa's sister Abigail move makes her a twisted bliss, says BBYPSI. The Scottish Spitfire, says Lillian. I like that. That's really cool. 1, 2. Standing moonsault by Lacey. Only gets a 2 count. Alexa seems to be getting quite warm. Lacey grabbing this antibacterial hand wash. She's trying to put it in her mouth. She's squirting it in her eyes. Yeah, that is surely illegal. How is that legal? I do agree with Michael Cole. How is grabbing hand sanitizer, squirting it in your opponent's face during a match legal? The ref's like, lol. Nikki screaming, running over, collides into Lacey. That was stupid. That was just stupid. Shoots Lacey across the ring. We're all waiting for Sasha. Not the best show so far, says Miss Clown One. But a Spark says sanitizer is for hands only, damn it. It's true. I should imagine it's even written on the bottle. And I'm pretty sure it says, keep out of eye contact. Nikki wins. Alexa says, that's my best friend. Nikki wins the match and has been sanitized. Alexa, very happy, smiling. I feel like, is Alexa going to attack Lacey? Lacey is over by the commentary table. Lacey, there's Alexa. What are you going to do? Get the Fiend. Lacey says, what are you going to do? Get the Fiend. And Alexa walks away. Oh, here we go, Sister Abigail. She does those Sister Abigails really well. She does it really, really well. Yeah, as soon as you say the words, the Fiend. As soon as you say the words, the Fiend. Oh, I'd be doing that all the time. At home, I'd be like, Alexa. And she'd be like, don't say it. I'd be like, how's the Fiend? And then she'd be like, I'd be like, stop messing around. Do you want a cup of tea? With the Fiend like one. Oh, silly. So now if you say the words the Fiend to Alexa, she goes full on zombie mode. She goes full on Walker. Full on Walking Dead. Oh, man. Could you imagine you're in an argument with someone at the supermarket? You're like, that was my trolley. Don't make me do it. You honestly, she might look small, but if I just say 2 words, she is gonna freak. Well, I've warned you. The Fiend! The Fiend! Go on! I want my trolley back! The Fiend! Manuel Luis Pereira. Shout out to you, my friend. Shout out to you. Oh, just think of all the fun you could have. You could let her loose, couldn't you? You could go out. You could have a lovely meal, yeah? Go to the cinema, go ice skating. Yeah, you could have a lovely time. Amazing time. And then when you need it, yeah? Someone comes up to you, starts a little bit of trouble. Actually, do you know what? She'd be a brilliant, girlfriend. Be a brilliant girlfriend. Go out, you have a great time, disco dancing, all this kind of stuff. And then you're going for a kebab after, yeah? Someone pushes into you, pushes in front of the queue and whatever. It's like, excuse me, I think you'll find I was next. You'd be like, no, mate, I was next, actually. Dude, I was studying. Oh, the Fiend, the Fiend, the Fiend. Before you know it, the guy's getting Sister Abigail inside the fish and chip shop. Woo! Yeah. Also, I'm just going to throw it out there, but do you know what I mean? Late at night, I want to get a little bit freaky. Like, do you want to bring the Fiend out? And, I mean, that sounded wrong, but I think you know what I was saying. Do you know what I mean? Could be interesting. Alexa is poor on commentary, says Da Truth. Alpha Proto says, I like Nikki more because she's Scottish. Interesting. I like Alexa more because she's an absolute Fruit Loop. The Fiend! The Fiend! I need a full-on Walking Dead remake. Do you guys think Tessa will be in WWE? She might be. J14 says, sexy. Brax the Beast says, no, you didn't. Yeah. I'm just saying, you know, people want a little bit of spice in the bedroom, don't they? You know, lots of different ways that they try and sprinkle a little spice in their life. If your partner goes freaky when you say the words "the Fiend," just saying, just throwing it out there. If Ryan is watching, I think that's his name, Ryan Carbonara or whatever it's called. RJ Madma says, that's it. You've officially made my day better. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, RJ Madma. Shout out to Manuel Luis Pereira. What? I don't know. What am I watching now? Something to do with families in WWE. Rick and Charlotte Flair, Larry the Axe Hennig, and the Ortons. The Anawahi family. Days, Cole could have sold it better on commentary. Days, you said what us normal males think. I'm getting my mallet, says Ryan. I think Alexa is Sister Abigail, says Thakor. Shout out to you. I like this. I like this footage. Look, Wild Samoans, Afa and Sika. Yokozuna. The Rock. So we're getting, but look at this, we're being treated to the Anawahi family. Umaga! Yeah, Rikishi! Yeah, man. This is good. So we just got to see the whole Anawahi family. Good video package, man. They're so good at their video packages. This is the best part of the show. This is the best part of the show. He's the best, isn't he? Well, either him or The Rock. Jay has done a respectable job. It's the Wobbly Walrus. It is. This is sick, says Ryan. It is. Just seeing, look at that. The Usos and Roman at home when they were kids. Battle of the Bloodline. There's only one ruler. The tribal chief? I love that. I love that. The tribal chief. No idea what they would make him look like if this was the 90s. If this was the 90s, he would be full on dressed like a tribal chief. But, Roman is so cool. When I'm older, I want to be Roman Reigns. Okay, we're going to hear from Sasha, who is at the Performance Center. Why? Look, she looks super sad. She's got a neck brace on. Right, is it the Sasha interview now? Imagine if something happened like Roman got hurt and they gave Jay the title. Right, we're just seeing this brutal beatdown. She might have got beaten up so much she can't remember what happened. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? And then Michael Cole has to tell her it was Bayley. Show her the footage. And then it all comes flooding back. And she has to relive it for the first time again. Right, we're just seeing Bayley attacking Sasha. I wish she'd called her a stupid Jedi. That would have been funny. It wouldn't have made sense at the time, but now it would have made sense. And you're even a stupid Jedi? You're a Mandalorian? Best friends, sure, Bayley. We knew the truth from the beginning. Yeah. Halftime scores coming up as soon as we get to commercial break. We're just seeing the chair being put around the neck of Sasha. Michael says Rey Mysterio's daughter will be in computing the WWE ring sometime soon. Oh, competing. I don't know. I don't know if she's trained or is even training. She could be the love interest for Murphy. He might want to be Buddy Mysterio. He wouldn't take her name, would he? She'd be Tuck Murphy. She'd be Tuck Murphy! Ah. Buddy and Tuck. Right, let's have a chat with Sasha. How was the Death Star? There's no point in coming on to do an interview if you're not going to talk. I'm still here, aren't I? Yeah. So last week, Bayley blamed Sasha. I think a little part of the problem is that they've got to act. Sasha says she was using me. I heard every single word Bayley said last week. I heard everything she said. And I can't help but to be filled with emotions as I sit here at the Performance Center. A place that we built. A place that we trained every single day together. It's alright. It's an alright promo. It's alright. Sasha doesn't tuck. Everything that we have achieved now. This whole summer, here at the Performance Center, we showed the world. This summer at the Performance Center, we showed the world. We told everyone we would take over the whole damn company. Okay. We. I would love it if it turns out it was a plan to lure us and they're still a tag team. Sasha's moving too much for me. Having her sit there just in a neck brace isn't really selling it. No, she's like, she might as well not have the neck brace on. I've never seen someone. She's moved her neck more than I've ever moved my neck ever. She's been over here, been down there. We've gone everywhere. Her neck's gone everywhere. There's no neck. I'll tell you now, there's no neck injury. Look, she even did that. She just went, do you think I'm some kind of idiot? She actually did this with her neck. You've got a neck injury. You think there'd just be a moment where you just a few little grimaces? No, yeah. You think I'm an idiot? Yes, I do, because you got a neck injury. Other than that, it's all right. So since I'm useless to you now, she might as well take that off and start doing a TikTok, right? She might as well. Bailey's here. Good. Beat her up. Beat her up. Beat her up. Yeah, take off the neck brace. She doesn't need it. Get up. Yeah. Put it back over. Yeah, Bailey. 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 No, let her do it. Let her do it. Who are these jobbers? I don't know who these people are. Go away. Go away. Where's Alexa? The Fiend. The Fiend. The Fiend. Alexa, get over there. Oh, well, there we go. Bailey attacked Sasha 2 weeks ago. And then it's not enough time. It's not enough time. That beatdown was brutal. They couldn't have done any more. Like, it was a sustained attack for like 5 minutes. Hurled into barricades, hurled into ring steps. Like, that's the kind of... Don't forget, wasn't it Ivar? What did Ivar do? Did Ivar do a suicide dive? One suicide dive, and apparently he's out for a year. Did you hear that news? Ivar out for a year. Because of... I can't remember if he did the suicide dive, or if someone landed on him and he just slightly tweaked his ankle. Like, tweaked his leg, and he's out for a year now. Which is awful. Honestly, it's awful. I've got nothing but sympathy. But what Bailey did to Sasha was so brutal. And yet we're here 2 weeks later and she's like, I'm a savage. Any booty nasty. Yeah. Woo. But doing all this in a neck brace? Come on. Got psychology, man. Come on. Think about it. Just needed a couple little... just a couple of them. Do you know what I mean? Just not as much movement. A little bit like... Just give me a moment. Do you know what I mean? Take a time. That pain... You know when you do that with your hand for no reason because you're in that much pain. Needed some of them. Just one of them. One of them as well, where you make a fist and you put it against your head and you don't know why you're doing it, but the pain is that intense. Like, just give me a moment. A few of them would have gone a long way. Instead, she's like, yeah! Woo! Oh well. But the words that she said were good. Days, do you think WWE are going into too much detail with The Fiend? I love the character, but are they overthinking it too much? I don't know. Maybe they could. I don't know. I think that they do a lot of stuff and then just kind of leave it hanging. And then it's kind of up to us to, like, tie up the loose ends. Like, how many fun houses are there? Like, is there a backstage funhouse? Was the funhouse we saw last year a different funhouse? Like, there's a lot of stuff that we have to piece together because we don't get the answers. So I don't know if WWE are overthinking it or if they're just making us overthink it. But I suppose you could make an argument for it. But people are on board with The Fiend, so it's working. Anyway, look, we're back with Sasha. Sasha's like... Let's go club him. Woo! Right, we're back inside. Yeah, get your scores in. Get your halftime scores in. We are back, but the halftime scores wait for no one. So, fire your halftime scores in. What do you think of the show so far? And whilst you're putting your thoughts in, I'm going to change the graphic over because time waits for no one. And AJ Styles is making his way down. I'm looking forward to this match, actually. Looking forward to it. Shout out. Sam, Paboon? Is it Paboon? Shout out to you, Sam. Says, when would you like to see Sasha have a match with Bayley? It's a really good question. I wouldn't do anything until Survivor Series, to be honest. I don't even know when Survivor Series is. November? I wouldn't have had her around yet. I think that Bayley is building towards a match with Nikki, so they should have this week focused on Bayley and Nikki. So I can't believe they've brought Sasha back so early. I think it's far too early. So seemingly they want to get moving on this. So I don't know what the pay-per-view is after Clash of Champions, but I think it's fair to say that they'll do Sasha Bayley at whatever that show is. Does anyone know? Does anyone know what's after Clash of Champions? Because I think Survivor Series tends to be in November, and then TLC tends to be in December. But I can't remember what October is. I don't know what they tend to have in October. So whatever it is, I think that's where you get the match. But honestly, Survivor Series is one of the big four, so I would have done Sasha Bayley there. But shout out to you, Sam. Here's Sami Zayn. What the hell, Greg? Sammy upset. Two weeks in a row now, you've not announced me as IC champion. AJ Styles attacking Sammy from behind. Hell in a Cell is after Clash of Champions. Oh, thank you. Yes, I think you're right. Hell in a Cell. Well, there we go. That does make sense, actually. Doesn't it? Like, you want a red-hot feud for Hell in a Cell, so... Well, there we go. Sasha Bayley, Hell in a Cell. That's when it's going to go down. Begrudgingly, that does make sense. That does make sense, but I'm not happy about it. I hate Hell in a Cell as well. Why not just do Hell in a Cell when you need Hell in a Cell? Rather than a pay-per-view come around and it's like, clearly they're doing it there. Right, AJ Styles doing well against Sammy. Chalmers says Sammy's first match back. Sammy kicking at AJ. It's brilliant to see Sammy in the ring. Quick kicks by Sammy. DDT by Sammy. Going for the cover on AJ. Shoulder up already. The only problem is this isn't going to get the focus or the time that it deserves. That's the only problem. I wish this was the opening match. I wish there was no Miz and Morrison promo. Forget that. I just want, normally the first half an hour is given to one match I wish they'd given us AJ, Sammy, first half an hour. Instead, we got that Miz and Morrison promo and the Cesaro Grand Metalik match. Back elbow by AJ. AJ charging over to Sammy. Dumped on the outside. Sammy driving AJ into that top turnbuckle. Ryan Reynolds says, give us what we want, damn it. Halloween Havoc. Oh, that'd be so good. Halloween Havoc would be awesome. That'd be really good. Just think of the cinematic matches, or a cinematic match they could do that's Halloween themed. They could have a lot of fun with that as well. A lot of fun. They could do lots of like horror film posters with WWE superstars. That would be awesome. That'd be really good. And then they could do a Halloween cinematic match. It's a shame, isn't it? That's a shame that we're not getting that. Maybe NXT will do it. They haven't said what the NXT is going to be. There's a takeover coming up soon, isn't there, in a couple of weeks, so I can't see there being another one. Yeah, shame. Butterspark says, Sammy is my favorite gorilla. Viva El Generico. David Paul says, Hell in a Cell is scheduled for the 1st of November. AEW Full Gear is scheduled for the 7th of November. Thank you, David. Anthony says, another Boneyard match. Robin813 says, NXT TakeOver Halloween Havoc. Would be awesome, but I don't know if they're going to, when the next takeover is after the, I mean, we've got one coming in a couple of weeks. So I can't imagine they'll do one at the start of October and then one at the end of October as well, but maybe. That would be good, says Future Compilations. I agree. AJ sucks, says Kevin. Sean says, what do you think is more likely? Alexa costing Nikki or Sasha costing Bayley? It's got to be Alexa costs Nikki. It's got to. It's got to. I don't want Sasha anywhere near a ring. I don't want Sasha anywhere near a ring yet. She shouldn't have even been on TV. And for me personally, she didn't do a good job of selling the injuries from a couple of weeks ago. So just leave it. They don't need to be touching the Sasha thing right now. We didn't need her on TV. I know that it's good for hype and ratings and whatever, but storyline wise, didn't need her this week. And you don't need her getting involved at Clash of Champions because that is a red hot feud anyway. They don't need to put more petrol on the fire. The fire is raging, so we don't need that. But we do need something that's going to cause the final split between Alexa and Nikki. Alexa and Nikki are sort of on the same page at the moment. Like, everything's cool. You know, Alexa said on commentary, that's my best friend. You know, like, they seem to be, they were all right on a moment of bliss and everything. There's got to be something that's going to split them if we are going to head towards a match. And, you know, Alexa glazed over, hitting a Sister Abigail or a mandible claw or something. And costing Nikki, that'll do it. So, of the two options, no doubt in my mind, just be cool. Lights out. Don't know what's going to happen. They come back on. And imagine if it's Alexa in a mask. Imagine if she's full-on Fiend at that point. Fiendette. That would be epic. It'd be epic. What a visual. That excites me way more than Sasha. BBYPSI says, the scariest thing for Halloween Havoc would be Sarah Schreiber tracking Days down, where he lives, and then wanting to do a 1 hour interview. That would be scary, and the main reason why it would be scary is because a 1 hour interview with Sarah would last a whole day, because by the time I actually answered her question, she would then be interrupting me with another question. And if she wants to get an hour of me answering her, that's going to take a long time because all she would do is interrupt. But she's been all right in recent weeks. Credit where it's due. I think she's been watching the streams. And I think she's been trying to be a better person. So, Sarah, if you're watching, I'm not going to give you a shout out. You don't deserve it. But you are improving. Oh, net breaker by AJ. That was nice little sequence there where they tried to suplex each other. And in the end, AJ did. And then hit the net breaker. Look at that. Suplex. Boom. That was good. I like that. That's the best in-ring moment of the night so far for me. Nice work by Sammy. Chin breaker. Forearm strike. Trading blows in the middle of the ring. Days, who should challenge Tuck for the Tucking Championship? There is no challenger. But if we were going to get something like that, it would have to be Zelina. Big boot by Sammy. Pele kick by AJ. Sammy goes down. What is Jessica Carr doing? Jessica Carr was like checking on Sammy. And then she like went to touch his back, touched the side, touched his back, went back to the side. I don't know what she was doing. She went over like, everything okay? Is everything all right? Yeah? Okay, right. Now I'm going to move on to AJ. I don't know what that was. Sometimes just watching the ref is so interesting. Sami Zayn goes behind AJ. Back elbows coming in by AJ. And, oh, nice! Blue Thunderdome! 1, 2. Oh, kick out by AJ. She did a good interview with Kevin Owens, says Sean. She is improving. Credit where it's due. Yeah, I don't know what she was doing. Jessica Carr. Right, looks like he was grabbing a hair. Gets taken down, looking for a calf crusher. AJ couldn't get it. Nice kick by AJ. How long we got? We've only got 39 minutes. We've only got 39 minutes left. Nice. Oh, lovely. Belly to belly into the corner. AJ down. Sami Zayn. He's trying to get AJ set up for the haluva. Here we go. Charging. No, couldn't get it. Rolls up AJ. 2. Oh, he's pulling on the tights. Pulling on the tights. Styles from behind. 2, 3. And I think AJ, was he pulling the tights? AJ wins. It's not the classic match we were hoping for. It was okay. It had its moments. Had its moments. I still enjoyed it. Sammy says he had my tights. Jessica Carr says no, he didn't. Sammy's saying tell them that I'm still the champ. Jeff Hardy's running down. He takes down AJ. He is attacking Sammy. So Jeff Hardy's here. They've got to just make this triple threat, haven't they? No Funhouse tonight. They never announced one on the preview, and they haven't announced one all night either. It said to be continued, but maybe that's going to be next week or something. Jeff Hardy has come down and he's grabbed a table. Now he's grabbed a ladder and a chair. TLC? Table, ladders, chair, triple threat, maybe? Could this be foreshadowing for Clash of Champions? He's got the ladder set up. That was good. He moved it out of the way. That was nice. That was such a good little spot there. Jeff Hardy grabbed the ladder, put it on the edge of the ring, and you're watching and you're like, Sammy's going to baseball slide the ladder into Jeff. And he went for it, but Jeff picked it up and he actually slid out the ring. That was really clever, because what you thought was the obvious thing that was going to happen didn't happen. Well done, everyone. Well done. Jeff Hardy climbing up the ladder as Sammy rolls out of the ring. Butterspark says 3-way TLC. I hope so. That would be so cool. That would be really cool. I'd love that match. Jeff, Sammy, AJ, triple threat, TLC. Here we go. Jeff's got a microphone. He says, I'm tired. I'm sick about being called a cheat. He did cheat, though. In fairness, he did cheat. Let's end it. Clash of Champs. Triple threat. But not in a normal match. Threat. Ladder match. It's a ladder match. Triple threat ladder match. So not TLC. It's a triple threat ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Love that. Triple threat ladder match. Makes sense. Right, we're backstage. We got Otis. Yep. Oh, yeah. Otis has been served. Is it a barbecue turkey? Lawsuit. So what's this lawsuit about? God, if they're bringing in lawsuits into wrestling, everyone's gonna get sued. Just imagine what Sasha will do to Bailey if you can sue people. Well, how can you now sue people in wrestling? Well, first of all, we can sue, Sammy can sue Jeff Hardy for what he's just done. So if we're going down that road, WWE, it's going to be there won't be any wrestling. All the wrestlers will be in court. There won't be any wrestlers. Wow. A lawsuit in wrestling. A lawsuit in wrestling. Wow. Daze, did you hear that Pete Dunne is an NXT UK producer now? I did hear that, yes. What does lawsuit mean? It means that you've taken someone to court to sue them for something that they have done, some way that they have wronged you. If The Miz is suing Otis for the attack earlier, maybe for, like, embarrassment caused, you know, when he stripped him naked or something. Not naked, but, you know. I'm not sure that's a road that WWE should go down. Young Ryder says, Days, did you notice how much Sammy is out of shape now? I wonder what happened. The pandemic happened! And he sat at home, and he grew his hair, and he grew his beard, and he got fat, and I can totally freaking relate. Yeah? Because what I'm describing is not Sami Zayn. I'm describing myself. So, I can totally... The pandemic happened. That's what happened. I'll tell you what happened. Pringles happened. That's what happened. Yeah? Once you pop, you can't stop. That's what happened. So, no shade on Sammy. It gets us all, yeah? You sit here and you're just like, well, I can't go out. And your hair grows and your beard grows. And then people are like, oh, you should get a shave. You know, you look messy. And you're like, but why? For what? We're only hanging out. Does it offend you that much? I ain't got nowhere to go. I can't go anywhere. All I've got is just me and the Pringles. Do you know what I mean? And they don't mind. So I feel a connection. I feel like Sami Zayn is like my spirit animal. So let's not go throwing shade around at Sami Zayn, shall we? Because it just hits a little close to home. Right, we're at commercial break. We got 30 minutes left of this show. And it's been okay. I've seen worse. It's been alright. Not as great as previous weeks. Hunter Crawford. Shout out to you, my friend. Shout out to you, Hunter Crawford. Thank you very much. Hope you are enjoying the show. William Hensey says Miz is suing Otis for indecent. Roy Rees, shout out to you. Pringle Lives Matter, says Jim Gore. They do. Alex Bloomfield says Battleground models look like those from Slam. Battleground is a pay-per-view and Slam was a TV show. Oh, yeah, Slam City. Clearly the Battlegrounds PPV is coming back. And Saturday morning Slam. I'm not sure. Right, hang on. Look, we're going back. Let's see what's being said. Emotional distress. One wrestler is suing another for emotional distress. How? How? Oh, let's get a lawyer. We could get a really cool wrestling lawyer. Court? All these words are so confusing to Otis. Lawyer? Court? Otis says, sorry, buddy, but you're in trouble. Well, that's friends for you, isn't it? A Samoan street fight. Emotional distress? Can you imagine? Emotional distress? How many times could wrestlers have been sued for emotional distress? Do you want to know the actual answer? It's millions. Millions of times wrestlers could have been screwed. I can't even say the word sued. Sheamus's car is being towed. What does Sheamus? Who's this? Big E is back. Big E is back. Big E trying to get at Sheamus. Word on the street is that you set me up. Well, this guy getting thrown into, he's getting beaten up. Who is this guy? Right, Big E is beating up this security guard that he believes set him up. Be careful, Big E, because you'll get sued for emotional distress. That's what happens now. Maybe that's how all of the feuds can end. Oh, this feud was going really well, but then it turns out that Sasha sued Bayley for emotional distress. Mr. Rotella says, how far do you live for humanity? Days. How far do you live for humanity? I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? Should I know what that means? How far do you live for humanity? Hang on. I've got belly to belly here. Belly to belly. That's another windscreen that's been broken. What does that mean, Mr. Rotel? I don't know what it means. How far do you live for humanity? I don't care for humanity. I only care for wrestling. It's the only thing I care about. Wrestling and Pringles. That's what I live for. He's just put the security guy in the trunk. Adam Useless Pierce is here. Adam Pointless Pierce. Mr. Rotella, how far do you live for humanity? Because what you say, I can just copy your answer. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. How far do you live for humanity? LB says, we, the viewers, should all sue for a... yes! You're right! LB, we should sue! Maybe not so much for SmackDown, but for Raw, I am definitely suing for emotional distress. I am definitely suing for emotional distress. Do you know how many hours I have to sit here watching Raw week after week after week? And weak is the word, because it freaking is weak. And now I'm having to watch Kofi tell some young person to not vape. And now I'm at another commercial break. You're right. We should sue for emotional distress. Oh. John says, what if The Fiend makes a Wyatt family with Alexa Bliss? That'd be good. Shout out to Kingslayer 10. Sue Raw. Yeah. Where's Atunga? Oh, yeah, where is Atunga? Finally! They've got something for Atunga to do. The wrestling lawyer. Sue, it's a shoot on AEW. Adam Baldy Pierce. The ref's voice is annoying. BOD says emotional distress right here. Roy, what did you say, dude? Days, can I bask in your glory? There's no glory to bask in, my friend. It's not a night for glory. People need to understand what a heel turn actually means, says Paul Carpenter. Shaquem says, tuck, 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 tuck. Shout out to Amir El Shazli. Kofi twerking gives me emotional distress. Just so. It's a new thing that's been brought into wrestling. How far do you live from humanity? There's a little bit of distance between me and the neighbours, which is a good thing for them. Vape Ross Vape says, I'm suing Kofi for defamation. Spatino 101 says, would you say there's a lot of toxicity, love that track, between WWE and AEW fans? If so, does it stem from one side more than the other? I think there is. There's a lot of toxicity between hardcore WWE fans and hardcore AEW fans. Does it stem more from one side than the other? Not really. I think a lot of hardcore AEW fans, not all of them, but I think a good chunk of them are disillusioned WWE fans. So they're people that watch WWE and over time fell out of love with, they might have been really into the Attitude Era, and then, as WWE went PG, they kind of feel like they've been abandoned. They kind of feel like WWE have turned their back on them. And, they like New Japan as a result, because that's more wrestling orientated. It's not sports entertainment. And so now they're on board with AEW. So I wouldn't say it was more one-sided than the other, but I agree there is a lot of System of a Down toxicity. We're just seeing this woman getting changed. Someone's zipping up the back. We've seen the blonde hair. Cool. We believe that is Brock Lesnar now that he hasn't got Paul Heyman. It's a big change. But it's the person that he's always wanted to be. So fully supportive. And it's going to be awesome when you get the final reveal. He's going to be known now as Suplex. That's his new name, Suplex, and he will take you to Suplex City. It's where they go shopping, basically. So very much looking forward to the debut of Suplex. That is going to be absolutely wonderful. Right, we've got the big CGI Roman. We got 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes to go. Mr. Rotella says, how far do you live from humanity? But I do like the way I put it the first time. I don't live too far away from humanity. I live in like a little village, but it is like quite far down the road. And the nearest neighbours, I'd have to be really good at throwing stones to hit one of them. And then I wouldn't be a very good neighbour if I was to do that. So I've never done it. So there are a few houses that are around. It's not like I'm just literally in the middle of nowhere, but yeah, it's I'm not in a city or anything like that. I am out in the sticks, as they like to put it. What if the mystery woman is the Fiend turning into Alexa Bliss? What? So Alexa's turning into the Fiend, and what we're watching is the Fiend turning into Alexa. That's amazing, Austin 316. I love that idea. Why? Yeah. Why has no one thought of that? Why has no one thought of that? Alexa's turning into the Fiend, but at the same time, the Fiend's turning into Alexa. Wow, that Ryan Carbonara is going to be in for a hell of a surprise, isn't he? When he goes for a little bit of a kiss and a cuddle. And it's actually Bray Wyatt. Wow. Kuji, shout out to you. No fun else, says Rotem. Boo! It's Alicia Fox. That woman is Tuck, says the Nico guy. Austin says I solved it. Yeah. Alexa is now the Fiend. And the Fiend is now Alexa. Hey, look, we've got to move on. Ba-da-bum. It is no longer AJ Styles, Sami Zayn. Roman has come out. Oh, I think it's a Roman promo. And by Roman promo, I mean a Paul promo. It's Paul Russ. Oh, no, it is a Roman promo. Roman is like, I came out here first. I don't want any confusion. Call it what you want. This is my yard. This is my ring. This is my WWE. Do you know it is actually? If you want it, come and take it. No confusion. This is his yard. And Paul Heyman is looking on lovingly. Like, honestly, if Paul Heyman could take Roman on a dinner date right now, I think he would. I don't think he's ever looked at anyone with eyes like that. Down since day one-ish. Down since day one-ish. Roman Reigns is quite the dish. Down since day one-ish. Yeah, Oos. Oos. King Corbin. I was trying to think who the other person was. In my head, I'm just thinking, Oos, get the orange juice, and I don't know why. Samoan street fight. Yard. It's an island. Why did he say island? You should have said, this is my Thunderdome. Except for that time that Paul kissed Ryback. Oh, yeah. What if the mystery woman is Sue? It is Sue. It's Suplex. We said this. The mystery woman is Carmella. Chalmers says Roman is vibing with it. It was good, man. It's good. Shout out to Cora Turner. We got 15 minutes. Oos, get the orange juice. Yes. The mystery woman is Sue, says Adrian. Yard equals island. No, it doesn't. Yard means backyard, doesn't it? This is my backyard. This is my garden. This is my patch. Doesn't mean island. Where does island come from? Doesn't make any sense. It would make sense if they were on an island, but they're not. They're in the Amway Center. We know that. In Orlando. Tommy Taker. It is Tommy Takeover tonight. They are going with a Samoan tribal chieftain theme, which is a step up from a dog. You're right, Nicola. That is true. That is true. They are going for the Samoan chief, and the imagery there is quite impressive. Like, I can picture him, and it's really cool. Yeah? I'm getting like a Moana vibe. Yeah? That's cool. That is definitely better than the Beethoven big dog that I picture when they say big dog. I always think of Beethoven. I think of Beethoven 1. I think of Beethoven 2. I think of Beethoven 3. I think in fact, what I think of is the Beethoven box set. That's what I think of when they say big dog, right? So, granted, I'm now thinking about Moana, which is a Disney movie that I haven't seen, right? So I can't imagine there's much violence in it. But that is still a step up from a big drooling dog, Beethoven. So, yeah, I agree. Rotem says, what if the mystery woman is Demi? Oh, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. King Ant says, Roman won't change his gear because his padding underneath to prevent a hernia. Kevin says, can I get shout out? Shout out to you, dude. Eustace, Purvis, Bubba Blue, Jimmy James says the mystery woman is Linda McMahon. Yeah! Linda. Finally, she's come back home. Yeah, Linda, back in WWE. Ryan says, his family are from the island of Samoa. Yes, but he said, this is my island, and he's not on Samoa. If he was cutting the promo on the island of Samoa, then that would make sense. But you can't say, this is my island. What do you mean, this is your island? What do you mean? He could say, Samoa is my island. I'm just saying, look, it's not the worst thing we've seen tonight. Yeah? I'm just saying. Could have been worded a little. Just a little. You know what I mean? Right, we've got King Corbin, we got Sheamus, and we got 12 minutes for a Samoan street fight that's starting in a ring. How is a Samoan street fight any different to any other street fight other than the fact that we do have some Samoans involved? Are they Samoan? I don't know. They might have been born in America. In fact, Roman was raised in Pensacola, Florida. I don't know if he was born there, but he's certainly billed as being from Pensacola. That is not Samoa. Unless they've bought it or something. I don't know. Right, we're underway with this. Was there a funhouse today? No. No funhouse. We should sue WWE for change. Yes! D6, you're right. We should sue WWE for changing Keith Lee's theme song. Sue them for emotional distress. Oh, yeah, you're right. Do you remember when they changed Chad Gable to Shorty G? Ha! Suing you for emotional distress for that. They have really opened a can of worms here. Roman said, "This is my island," and he's not in an island or at an island, and I'm feeling a little bit of emotional distress about that. Not lots. I won't sue for much. $5. I'll sue. That's a $5 offence in my eyes. $5 offence. Enough for an Arby's. So I'm going to sue Roman for that. Roman using a chair on King Boran. Days, what if the mystery moment is Melina since she just signed with WWE? I don't believe it is because Melina doesn't have blonde hair. She could dye it, or be wearing a wig, but I'm pretty sure it's Carmella. Sheamus with a knee to Roman. No countouts. No disqualifications. No tags in or out. Corbin and Sheamus working on Roman. If I was Jey Uso, I'd just be stood there watching and beating Roman up. Just be like, good luck at Clash of Champions. But he won't do that because he's all about family. No. Here we go. Sheamus hurling Roman over the announce table into the barricade. Don't get your hopes up on Melina. Remember how Morrison return happened. Yeah, good point. What if the mystery woman is Glenda, says Lauren? Good point. Well, if she is, I'm in trouble. I can tell you that much. Considering she almost drowned. Nikola Tesla's Retribution says, what happens if the mystery woman is Kelly Kelly? Then it turns out that the mystery woman is Kelly Kelly. And people having the double names continues. We've had Bra. Who else have we had? There's been a few people with double names tonight. So Kelly Kelly coming back makes a lot of sense. Jey Uso with an Inzaguri kick to Sheamus. Jey Uso going up top. Let's sue Tuck for giving us so many tucks to learn. WWE for giving us hope for a good Raw. And for Michael Cole. And for giving us Michael Cole. Jey Uso goes through the table. 1, 2. Kick out by Jey Uso. Days, we should sue WWE for not pushing Cesaro. Guys, if we're going to go down this road, this stream is going to be like 1,000,000 hours long. If we're going to sue WWE for all the stuff they've messed up, we could sue them for dropping the hacker storyline. We could sue them for making Retribution about 4 feet tall. We could sue them for so many different things. The amount of emotional distress that company has caused me. That spot should have been the finish, says Brian. True. Sheamus smashing Roman against the announce table. Sheamus has got Roman up on his shoulders. We've still got 7 minutes here. Back elbows coming in. The referee clearing the ring, getting the bits of table out of the ring. Samoan drop. Oh, I am the table. It doesn't break. Sheamus has to just take all of that punishment. The announce table didn't break. That's moody for Sheamus. That's moody. I love that. The table's like, what? This is your ring. This is your island. I don't think so. Oh, the barricade went, though. That was good. The barricade broke. This is the announce table's island. This is the announce tables, WWE. BBYPSI says sue WWE for dropping the hacker and leaving us hanging. Yes. There are bodies everywhere, says Michael Cole. There's Jey Uso. And by bodies everywhere, he means one. There's one body on the outside. Big splash by Jey. 2, 3. Jey wins. Gorilla Press, shout out to you. Alex says, sue that table. I'm surprised that Roman allowed Jey Uso to get the pin. You would think that Roman would want the glory. I don't know if he allowed it. Is anything going to go down here, do you think? We've still got about 5 minutes. But sometimes they do finish early. I could see Roman spearing Jey. Jey in the corner. Jey smiling. Roman not smiling. Jey grabbing the Universal. He's having a little look at it. He's dreaming that you can see. That it was like... Jey Uso's like, let's go. Come on, Us. Smile on the face of Roman. He's going to attack him. Yeah! Yeah! There's a bit of emotional distress coming. There's a bit of emotional distress coming. Don't be so stupid, Jey. I love you. Yeah, you're the best. So emotional. What's he going to hit him with? Superman punch. Spear. Oh, he's letting him walk away. This way, Us. Oh, and his face drops. His face drops. Oh. I mean, in fairness, he is annoying. Do you know what I mean? He is annoying. I totally relate to Roman. Totally relate. I'm surprised he didn't hit him, though. Really surprised. Saving it for next week. Oos. Those teeth are gold. Not cheap, man, those teeth. Not cheap at all. Days, what if the mystery woman is your mom? Your mom joke. Love it. Could be, actually. Could be. I think she's got them shoes. Dave in real life says, okay, that was a rubbish finish. Woken Hawk says, Days, Roman versus Muay for control of the island. Who's that? Is that the guy out of... What was the film called now? Moana. Is that what it's called? I've not seen the film. I don't know. I don't know who would win. I'll say Muay. If that's even the guy out of Moana, I don't know. But you can't Superman punch a cartoon. Yeah? That's a life lesson. You can't Superman punch a cartoon. The Fiend versus Ryan. Hell in a Cell. Yeah. The Fiend versus Alexa's pig. And I can't remember what it's called. Bacon bum or something. I don't know. 6 out of 10, 6.5. 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10. 8 says Sue. 3.3. Troy gives it a 7. Eric gives it a 7. Get your scores in. Get your scores in. 5 from Sunny Wolf. 7 from Dallas Stars fan. Muay is The Rock. Oh, so it was that Moana character. I am so knowledgeable. The mystery woman is going to be the emotional distress lawsuit. 6 out of 10. Do you know what? She could sue, couldn't she? Because she's just trying to get changed. And she's got all the cameras in there. Just pervy. 7.7. RJ Madma says, I'm struggling with a 5. 9. Wrestling Days fan says, bad show. 6.75. 6. Yeah, I'm probably going to agree with a 6.75. The mystery woman is Trent's mom. 6. D+. It's pronounced Moai. Moai? Moai. Potato. Who says potato? I've never met anyone that says potato. If anyone said potato, I think I'd just get up and leave. I don't even think they say that. I think it's tomato and tomato. But hang on, if you say tomato and tomato, then you would think that potato and potato... Who says potato? We're going down roads we just shouldn't go down. Days, the mystery woman is clearly a Lars Sullivan repackage, says BOD. Mystery woman is Big Show, says Dixon. Desmond says, what's your score? That's a good question. I'm just getting a flavour of what you guys are scoring. You literally just said it. Bye. Shout out to you, C. Mystery woman is Big Show. Gorilla Press says, missed most of it. I was cutting a second promo on Ollie of Wrestle Talk. Chalmers says 6.2. Well, in all fairness, you probably were doing the better thing. Wrestling Skateboard coming up. Yeah. Rock was in Moana. He was. NXT could do Halloween Havoc as a weekly special show. It would be a little underwhelming, but they could, you're right. Mr. Otella says, if I can sue WWE for emotional distress, Yokozuna beat Bret Hart fair and square at WrestleMania 9, and then out of nowhere, Hulk Hogan showed up, wins the WWF Championship. Fuji used legal salt and everything. Legal salt. Yeah. So Yoko was in the sharpshooter, and Mr. Fuji with his legal salt. And hang on, didn't Mr. Fuji welcome Hulk Hogan into that match though? Oh, there's my Yokozuna. I'm pretty sure he allowed it. I don't think that you've got a problem with WWE. I think your problem's with Mr. Fuji. You've got to sue him for emotional distress. 7 out of 10 for the lawsuit. Right, let's go. Let's go and change this over to the score. What is that score? It's a good question. I'm going to score it Wobbly Walrus out of 10. Wobbly Walrus out of 10 says Rotem. I'm going to say 6.75. Average is about 6.5. I think we said Raw was 6.5. This was still better than Raw. But honestly, what would you say was a OMG moment? I mean, it was only 2 hours, so that's always good. AJ Sammy had some nice moments. And outside of that, I mean, honestly, Alexa hit the Sister Abigail again, which was nice. Sasha moved her neck more than anyone has ever moved their neck before. So that was fun. The lawsuit thing was lols. I can't remember anything else. It was pretty standard stuff. There was What I would say is, even though there might not have been much that shone and was amazing and grabbed our attention, equally, there wasn't really anything that upset me or... I mean, that's a positive, isn't it? Guys, I watched the show and I'm not in tears. I'm not in tears. I'm not crying. I'm not, like, completely beaten down, am I? So, do you know what I mean? Gorilla Press says, was there a funhouse? No funhouse. No funhouse, no. Nope. No funhouse, no sign of Bray at all. Hayden Garrett says, He Tino Maho Ki Ahu Mahoi. What is that? Thank you for the amazing stream. I really appreciate it in English. Also, it's the Maori language week in New Zealand. Oh, is that Maori? Hitino Mahaki Ahu Maori. Yeah? Probably not. But that's cool, man. That's cool. That's cool. Shout out to you, Hayden. Gorilla Press says, when's the next podcast? There is a Wrestling Escape. We always do it after SmackDown, so there's one in like 9 minutes. And it runs for about 35 minutes, and the ending is a car crash. So, that's coming up in a bit. Shout out to you, Gorilla Press. Really good video they did with Mick Foley, all about his mask. So if you want to learn a bit more about the history of the mask, how it's made and everything, check out their video. Sean Reset says, Days, the video package was great. You are correct, sir. Shout out to you, Sean Reset. You are correct. That video package about the history of the Amway family was very, very good. Very good. Jay says 7.5. It wasn't bad. Mystery Woman is Daisy's Samoan cousin. John says Escape Pod coming soon. Nigel McGuinness is back on NXT and 205 Live. I did see that Nigel McGuinness is on NXT UK, which is really cool. I really like Nigel McGuinness. I got a lot of time for him. So, yeah, very, very, very cool. Days, the war has begun. This was a show of two halves. The first half was awful, but the second half was amazing, says Jake. Dallas Stars fan, shout out to you, my friend. Jay says, hello from Nova Scotia. Oh, yeah, where is Joseph Park? That was like one of my favourite parts of the show, and he's disappeared again. So I'm a bit disappointed about that. I really like that guy. I really miss Joseph Park. Juan Lopez says, and the mystery woman is... His name is John Cena! Shay says, 9.25. The show was brilliant. The only thing that I would change is the first 30 minutes. Shay, come on. We're all friends here, Shay, yeah? Let's think this through. Let's just stop and think this through, right? Let's just think this through. You've given the show a 9.25, okay? 9.25, which I think we can all agree is very high, yeah? So you're saying that there's only 0.75 was wrong, yeah? So if you think about 0 to 10, you've gone, woo, all the way up it, and there's only 0.75 that you would change, okay? Are you with me so far? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Okay? And then you said, right, the only thing I would change, right, so what would it be? A promo? Would it be the outcome of a match? I mean, don't forget, yeah? Yeah? Only thing I would change is the first 30 minutes. So the only thing you would change is a quarter of the show. Shay, do you see how the square doesn't go in the round circle? Yeah? Shout out to you, Shay. That is one of my favourite comments of tonight. I could sue you for emotional distress, but instead I'm going to applaud you. I'm going to applaud you because that is a wonderful, wonderful comment. The mystery woman is Wobbly Walrus, says Mandy. Dagon says, what's up, Days? Just cooking steaks. Jealous. Listening to the show. No need to watch with your commentary. Dude, this was a good one to skip, in all fairness. But it wasn't a disaster in all fairness. I don't want to paint the wrong picture. It's not as if I watched it and it was a chore and I was bored or anything. I think the thing with SmackDown is you go into it with such high hopes. You know, you kind of go into it like really pumped. And genuinely, it's my favourite stream of the week. Like, I'm going to be a little bit sad once this finishes. Granted, I can jump over to the Wrestling Escape Pod. We always have fun there. But, yeah, I love these streams. And the show just didn't quite live up to, like, previous weeks, you know? So, Shay says, yes, I've made it. No, Shay, it's a brilliant, there's no shade on Shay here. It's a great comment. Robin813 says, Days, who is the best world champion right now? Drew, Volta, Finn, or Roman? The correct answer is Nick Aldis. BOD says, I can't believe WWE is changing Daniel Bryan back bringing Daniel Bryan back as a fashion girl. I can. Rotem says, did you watch this episode last week? Didn't we watch this episode last week? What? What? Luke's World says, Days, I saw me in the Thunderdome and I tweeted it to you. Hope you had a good time, Luke's World. Hope you had a good time. Aiden says, Days, could you imagine if the woman is Santina Marella? Yes. It's Santina Marella again. Wasn't it Miss WrestleMania? She won the Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal. John says, see you at the Tommy Takeover, but why can't NXT do an NXT Takeover called an Adam Cole Appreciation Takeover? Because I think that would be showing favoritism. Eric Young is the best world champion, says Jim Gore. Austin says, I hope my internet behaves during Wrestling Escape Pod. Alexander says 7.5. Sammy was the highlight for me. He is great. I am really enjoying his work. The Viewers says, what's your thoughts on the Mystery Woman? I believe it to be Carmella. Mr. Rotella says, hi Days, some people take square blocks and they put them through round holes. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I'm with Shay. Hashtag justice for Shay. Justice for Shay. Woken Hawk says the Mystery Woman is Dave Meltzer. Yes! Yeah, I'd love that. Dave Meltzer. I give it 5 stars. I give that prediction 5 stars. Rotem says, I mean, it's the same episode we watched last week. What do you mean? You mean this week's SmackDown was the same as last week's SmackDown? I suppose in a way. In a way it was, because you had Jay and Roman working together last week in the main event, and you had that again this week. You had Alexa hitting her sister Abigail, and you had that again this week. Yeah, I suppose. I suppose. Gorilla Press says, our host, B Is, would like to join you and talk wrestling. B Is. Biz. Shout out to Biz. B Is. Mark says, the Mystery Woman is Deborah. Well, what is Deborah up to? I don't know what Deborah does these days. Amaya says, why was I timed out? I don't know. I haven't done anything. Heather says, it can't be the same episode. If we're talking about the Wrestling Escape Pod, that is completely different. If we're talking about SmackDown, then I do agree there are some similarities to last week's episode. I do agree with that. Starting next week, scoring with Shay. There we go. Starting next week, scoring with Shay. Shay, I think I speak for everyone when I say we cannot wait for your scores now. I think people are really going to be looking forward to them. Your score in particular is a score people will be keeping an eye out for. So, shout out to you. Mystery Woman is Linda, says Alan. The E-Pod starting soon. The E-Pod is starting soon. We will have to wrap it up. I am the table. Yes. It would no sell, would it? Right at the end. Days, you're great. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, well, look, we've got to wrap it up. We have got to wrap it up. Places to go, people to see. Thank you to everyone that joined us, though. I hope you had a great time. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, I'm not even saying do it. I'm just saying have a think about it, weigh it up. Have a think about it over the weekend. Maybe you'll come back on Monday. Maybe you'll think, no. But maybe you'll think, yeah. So, see how you feel over the weekend. But we are coming back tomorrow for UFC. We will do a retro watch-along on Sunday. On Monday, we will do Raw. Tuesday, I don't know what's happening with Tuesday yet. But, obviously, we are building towards Clash of Champions. We're building towards massive UFC shows as well, actually. So there's loads on the way. So plenty to look forward to, my friends. So yeah, massive thank you. Big shout out to everyone that joined us. Gorilla Press, shout out to you. Thank you for the support tonight, as always. Again, check them out. In regards to their Mick Foley video. And we're done. We're out. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great evening. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.